I got the scarf, got the old color. I got the go to push on, police, you again. Back to Queen, you're like an old friend. Well, that's the thing about that's what I think about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. 4.7, The Pulse. Across Geelong, the Surf Coast and Bellarine Peninsula. Welcome to the GDFL Match of the Day, broadcast on the Pulse. Now, here to bring all the action to your radio, our team on 94.7 The Pulse.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome. We are here this afternoon at Richmond Crescent and we've got East Geelong. They are taking on Bannockburn and both sides haven't gone too bad so far this year. East Geelong are progressing a little bit better than Bannockburn, won a few more games, but today is a new day and we've got some very nice conditions out there this afternoon for football. So round 5 this afternoon and we're looking forward to the games around the league. Welcoming also into the box this afternoon. Welcome to you, Richard Grubby Cations.
Yeah, g'day, Smith. I don't know. I think they've only won one more game than them, haven't they?
I think they're 3-2, is it?
No. One's won 3 and one's won 2, and
Yep.
Bannockburn on the improve. But look, I think it's going to be a sad day today because I got a crook throat, and I think the listeners and that want to hear me. I don't think I'll be saying as much today, so there'll be some pretty sad people about. But I just don't know whether it's laryngitis or whether it was singing last night to the Australian Eagles. I tell you. If I ever come to your town, the Australian Eagles, doing a tribute to the Eagles, go and see them. They are absolutely magnificent. So that's what might be the problem for the voice. So if I'm not speaking as much, you'll know why.
Well, that's all good, mate. We'll be able to look after you, hopefully, in those regards. But
well, maybe there might be some people quite happy.
And also into the box this afternoon, Archie Burley. Welcome to you, Archie.
Hello.
Thank you, Smithy. Oh, what a privilege it is to be here today at East Geelong. We're going to get to see one of the best forwards, if not the best forward in the comp.
No, don't
He's
start
on
that.
28 goals so
Don't
far.
start that rubbish.
We'll see how he goes today. I reckon he's got a few more in him.
Is he serious?
But no, it should be a great contest. Obviously, East haven't beat anyone of note, which must say as well. I mean, they had those 2 easy games early in the season, Western, Corio. And then I think their other win, it was Winchelsea. So then losing to North Geelong. So, Winchelsea I think is going to be around the middle of the table, but the other 2 teams are going to be down the bottom. So it's going to be interesting to see coming up against Bannockburn, who we know will put up a good fight, how they go.
Oh, I think Winchelsea. I think, was it night, was it?
Was that? Yeah, I think it was.
I think that's a pretty good win. They're very hard to beat there. That's a very good win. We saw Corio last week. They were pretty good. So, I might be selling them a little bit short.
Got to remember who Corio were playing, though.
Yeah, but they were both all right. They both played some pretty good footy. You'll see Thompson at the bottom. Played Werribee Central's on top. There's only 20 points the difference. So, maybe there's not that much difference in some of the sides. You'll see some blowouts during the year, but, I think some of their wins, maybe just selling them a touch short, maybe a touch.
Conditions obviously have played a part in a couple of those games, but having said that, today you couldn't get probably a perfect or a better day, I should say, to play the game of football. So we hopefully see a quality game here. And as I said, there's a fair bit of quality games going on around the rest of the league today because Inverleigh have got Winchelsea at home, which won't be an easy task. Belpo still have improved in North Geelong first loss for the season. Belmont Lions proved last week that they're better than they have been in the first couple of games because they take on Werribee. Corio and Anakie should be evenly matched, you would think, and Geelong West and Thompson. So again,
good footy.
Yeah, so we're hopefully it's not some blowouts this afternoon. We can see some quality football, but anyway, we'll have a quick look at some of these games. As I said, the Inverleigh Hawks, they take on Winchelsea, and that is at Inverleigh. Inverleigh have been going along okay. I think last week against Anakie, they just had probably a little bit too much polish, but were able to get over the line. Your thoughts on this one here this afternoon, Grub?
Yeah, well, I think their only loss was Anzac Day, wasn't it, when Bannockburn were able to come over the top of them.
Yep.
Other than that, their form's been pretty sound. We have seen them. And even though they lost that game, I thought they were pretty good. I thought both sides were very good that day. And I think they've improving as well. They've got some good kids. They've got some older blokes. They've got a really good mix, I think, of old and young. And look, I think they're going okay. Winch, they're a little bit up and down. Winch had a couple of good performances early. They probably may have should have won one or two more, maybe. At Winch, as we just said before, and especially at night, they're hard to beat. But today, out at Inverleigh, I think that gives the Hawks the edge. And I think I'll be going for Inverleigh. But look, maybe 3 or 4 goals.
Archie Inverleigh have been going along okay, as Grubby just mentioned. They're better players. Viney was good the day we saw him against Bannockburn. Ethan Brown was good, I thought, that day also, and Bowie Collins was exceptional after quarter time out there as well. So those players, again, last week were mentioned again. So they're getting a fair bit of value out of those blokes they brought into the club.
I think if you look at their team all around, you just look at the score sheet. I mean, they've got every week seems to be 4 or 5 players. You got Dixon, Snezkov, Collins, Donahue. They're all chipping in 2, 3 goals apiece, but no one's going out and kicking a massive bag. So it just shows that the continuity in the team, that they all back each other. So yeah, I reckon it's one of the games of the round. We could have gone to various places today, but I reckon Inverleigh should get over the line today. I'm going to go by about a couple of goals.
Hang on, pardon my ignorance. Who the hell is Ethan Brown?
Yeah.
Ethan Florida, man.
And I thought I was the idiot.
Yeah, no. No, I've started well, but
I couldn't think of an Ethan Brown.
nah, Ethan Floyd.
I knew what you meant, Smithy. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah, no. A lot of the people wouldn't have said anything until you mentioned it, but that's all
I
right.
didn't know who he was. I didn't twig.
Might have been Reece Brown who's running around the 2 still. I'm not too sure, but that's all right.
It's going to be a good day.
What about
Yeah,
you,
no.
Smithy? What do you reckon can happen?
Oh, I think Inverleigh at home will be far too strong. As I said, I think their performances have been good. Again, their first couple of games against some lower quality sides, but against Bannockburn, as I said, they were good. They had their opportunities, and they just need obviously their better players to kick goals. As I said, Snezkov, I think, got goals last week, but again, he we questioned Zach Smith and where he was kicking his goals, but he's been more consistent. I think that's Snezkov's. That's what he needs to do today. He's up against probably a little bit more quality at Winchelsea, so he needs to get himself on the scoreboard.
I agree. I don't reckon he had his best game when we went out and saw him against North Geelong, was it either? So yeah, it's gonna. Oh no, it was Inverleigh. Oh sorry, Bannockburn.
Yep.
So yeah, I reckon that yeah, if he kicks some goals against a better opposition, that would do his confidence the world of good.
Last week, North Geelong, they had their first lot. Belmont Lions brought them undone. Today, they go to Belpost Hill, and I don't reckon the task will be any easier up there, Grub. Belpost Hill have been going along pretty nicely and haven't been too far in the losses that they've did lose.
Not sure I agree with that, to be quite honest. I thought they were going along all right, but I'm not sure they're going along that well at all. They suffered what should have been a huge loss out at Werribee.
Yep.
I think they got beat last week.
Bannockburn beat them last week.
And
That
they
was
beat
probably a surprise because
Well,
they usually match up well with Bannockburn.
Well, it was more than a surprise. They beat them easy.
Yep.
By a lot of goals. Now I know that they've got a few out Belpost, and most of those blokes they got out have come out of their back line, right, with Basely and a few of those blokes. So that's always a big worry when most of your injuries come from your back line, because it's hard to put blokes in. But I think they've got to get back on track. We saw them against Anakie, but I think Anakie was struggling at the time too. So I'm not 100% on their form line, Belpost still. I think they need to get a little bit better. The day we saw them, they played well. Their young blokes look really good in Lockie Wilson and Coffey and a few of those blokes. Handley was pretty good. And their older blokes were pretty good too. But obviously they weren't so good in the next 2 games. So I think they've got to find a bit of form. And who are they playing?
They got North Geelong.
North Geelong they got beat last week and they'll be stinging, because that's one they thought they would win. I think it was at home at North.
Yes, it was.
And to lose at home to North, I think they'll be coming out firing today. And even though it's up at Belpost Hill, maybe they might get another good day of football. They had a couple of good days up at Belpost Hill without a raging wind, and they might get it up there today. And I think North Geelong will bounce back and defeat Belpost Hill today.
Corio was out of the game, I think, in the first 5 minutes of the game last
He
time.
was,
So that,
yeah.
again, I haven't seen a rap for rotations in saying can affect games, but just looking at a couple of games we've seen so far, and I'm speaking to Peter Riccardi again during the week, it definitely changed the way they went about things. But again, it's North Geelong. They've still got guys like Detmoy, the Swennerson boys still in there. Their key forwards, Blake Millers goes there. I think Connor Cooper Vaughan, I think, kicked 2 or 3 last week. So they've still got some pretty good firepower there. And as I said, I know one defeat doesn't mean a great amount, but maybe the run of Belmont Lions trouble them. Does Belpo still got that same run to trouble them today?
Yeah, I think it was a shock. I mean, I remember saying last week when we were going through the games, I gave them absolutely no chance, and Grubby was actually the one that said, "Don't write Belmont off." So, yeah, I thought, early on the season, after the first couple of games, it was North Geelong and East Geelong clear of the pack. I'd like to see East Geelong beat someone. I know they beat Winchelsea, but someone with a bit of quality. But talking about the game last week, I think North Geelong with the quality of the two Riccardi boys, even Paddy Cleary down back, the Swinnerton boys, Habib. I think that they should get the job done pretty easy. I think this could be one of the big blowouts that we see this weekend.
The only worry that I have is that it was a close game all day. There was nothing in it at three-quarter time. And if it goes down to the wire and you lose by a kick or two, then that's a great game of footy. But Belmont drew away from them one by 4-5.
Yeah, in the end, yeah.
So that is a little bit worrying. But then again, as you say, that could well be put down to they had no rotations much left and probably ran out of gas a little bit. So it might not mean that. But they will have to look at that. You don't want to be dying in the last quarter of a game, especially when you've got North's reputation of coming home. They've got a reputation of coming home strong.
Yeah.
So, as I say, you might be right with the rotations and it might be just a bit of a glitch.
Is there any news on Oscar Riccardi and if he is still going west or is it?
The only thing I know that his gear's still over there.
Yep.
And he done a hammy early and came home.
Yep.
Right? Now, apparently part of the deal to play over there was they get him a job.
Yep.
And at this stage, they haven't got him a job.
Right.
So all I can see from here on is what I've been talking to blokes is that if they get him a job, he goes back.
Yep.
And if they don't get him a job, he stays. And that's as simple as that as far as I know.
Right. So that'll obviously take place over the next couple of weeks if I know they've still got some time up their sleeve to be able to get him across there. But
well, let's just hope they don't get him a job and we can see that bit of class in our league.
Yep.
That's what I would say, being selfish. Is that fair enough?
He's quality, as I said. I like just the way he covers the ground. I think he's one of the smoothest movers I've seen at our level of football. So it's good to have him around.
He is, but I'll tell you what, there's another bloke who moves just as smooth too.
Oh, your brother.
And that's his little brother.
Yeah.
Oh, that goalie kick, I've still got that on my mind. The way he just balanced as he was running, which local footballers rarely do. I think if you get a bit of size about him and a little bit of confidence, he might go a bit further, this kid, I tell you.
He's definitely got some ability there. As you said, it was on display a couple of weeks back. So it's good to see him being able to kick some goals.
Well, it's easy to see where they get him from.
Oh, yeah.
Because their old man was a class footballer. There's no doubt about that.
Yep, he did. He moved across the ground pretty well, too, Pete. Don't worry about that. You're right there. Our next game is Belmont Lions down at Winter Reserve, and they take on Werribee. As I said, Werribee just got over the top of Thompson last week. Thompson travel again this weekend, and probably the ground probably wouldn't suit him again. I wouldn't think, Grub, being down at Belmont Lions.
Well, I think that's the biggest point that I'm going to make, actually. I've just got this feeling, and I don't disagree with it. I think Brisbane down there is trying to build a side that can run on St Albans in the finals, providing you make them, of course. But I think that's what he set this side up for. And obviously last week on that small ground at Thompson, they couldn't run. Well, I think Belmont's smaller. And Thompson and Belmont, at this point in time, are a much, much better side than Thompson are at the moment. So I think on that little postage stamp ground, I don't know whether they've got room to run. Belmont are one of those sides that can play that little ground beautifully, but can also come and play the big grounds. So that's the biggest part of your artillery if you can do both. At the moment, I'm not sure I think they'll run out of space here and there. The big fella that's come back, the big Jed Evans, who struggled to get a game, I think he's got a lot more fitness since he's come back, and he's playing pretty well. Beasley's playing well. They've got a lot of blokes that just all play well without being absolute superstar. Central's on the other hand, I think Linehan, Cunningham and Stone have been going all right. Look, what's the little kid in the halfback flank wing? Camilleri, a good player. He's been playing pretty good footy. So and there's a couple of recruits from Hoppers that have been going along all right too. Kalos and the other bloke. But look, I tell you what, I think on the postage stamp ground, the way that Centrals are set up, I think Belmont might have the edge here.
Big, the bit full forward got 4 goals last week, so that's got to be a bonus to them and up there. And I know that for Werribee, I think of their 11 goals last week, I think the 2 players kicked, I think 8 of them. I think Saliba got 3 and from memory, Kirko got 5. So
Yeah.
they probably need a bigger spread if they're going to have any chance.
Well, they
As I said,
normally do.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. It's
Yeah.
unusual for that to happen in that side. So, but down at Belmont, as I said, if you've got a key forward up there, you probably just leave him one out in the forward line, give him some space, and then hopefully get the ball into him and often enough with some players running past.
Well, Thompson actually put a debutant on Kirko to start as well. So young Harry Saw. So that would I think they would have they could change their mind again. Paul Lynch might change that matchup. So I'm pretty sure once they changed it, ended up shutting him down. But yeah, no, very interesting contest. I definitely I'm going to back Belmont today, especially the confidence they're going to have from the win last week against the reigning premiers. And then, you look at the other result, Werribee, just getting over the line against a depleted Thompson side that we think is going to be down the bottom end of the ladder. So I think Belmont should get it done, but, I've been wrong about them before, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, the other thing is, too, you talk about Kirker. Doesn't matter who you put on Kirker. If he plays his gun footy, I don't think anyone can stop him. But if he doesn't, he shuts himself down sometimes. He gets sorts of runs under the ball a little bit. He's very enigmatic. His best is great, but his worst is not so good.
Yeah, so they've still got a fair bit of their quality through their back line again. And so Slorex was times we've seen him over previous years. The two Linehan coming in, are they playing forward or one
No,
one back?
Connor's on the ball.
Yep.
And I think Bryce is up forward the last time I saw. I don't know where he played last week,
Yeah, I think
but the week before he played up forward. And he's the focal point you're talking about to take a few marks.
And we talk about quality players coming into the league, and we talk about Stone, obviously being a quality footballer. Has he, obviously, we know he can play footy. I know that I think you spoke to Ronnie Pilgrim and he said he played really well against them that day.
Yeah.
And he obviously will find it a bit different I suppose you still have to go and find your own ball at this level of footy, but just to have that support from blokes like him through the midfield, I suppose that's where he's going to be that extra important link to them.
The only thing I'll go with that, Smithy, and I'm probably going to sound like I'm being a little bit cruel, but I think playing at Lara, you had to go and find your own ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm not bagging them.
Yep.
But I think the way they were situated against the good side, St Mary's and all that, you got to go and find your own ball. So I think he's pretty much used to doing that. And I think at the moment, after 4 games, he would be well in the runner for their best and fairest already. So I think he's playing well enough. He's playing very well, actually.
Yeah, so their inside value, as I said, compared to what I know that you don't often put their best players in the paper just to let the league know what's going on, but he's obviously quality. Now, how old is that? How old is he, young Stone?
I don't know.
Would he be eligible for the interleague?
Oh, I would doubt
coming up.
I would doubt it. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got no
I'll
idea.
find out.
It'll be interesting because I think if he was available, then obviously he'd be a very handy addition to their squad. And we went out and we saw Corio take on Geelong West last week, and Corio played some pretty good football during the course of the game. They've got some new blokes into their side who I reckon have improved them. As I said, we spoke about it after the game. It's a shame that the players that they've lost, and obviously Joel Bennett not playing, if they hadn't been able to maintain and keep that group together, then they could be in a completely different situation where they would have had more than that one win so far this season. But they have got themselves on the board. Anakie have also got themselves on the board previously. And I think both games have been won against Geelong West, believe it or not. Arch, I'll give you first crack here this afternoon. Who wins the game and why?
I reckon Corio actually, which might be a shock to some of our listeners, but no, I think that the football we saw them play last week, I don't think it was their best game, their best brand of football. This is the coach talked during the week interview, and he said that they played, I think it was in the second quarter, they play like that the whole game, and they can definitely put out a more convincing performance. I think Anakie are really lacking that key forward. Nick Howe's still not back yet, which was the big recruit of the off season. He slid his hand opening. So it was a work incident. So he's still a few weeks away from what I'm hearing. So without him in, you're going to have to get Oscar Barter to go down forward and kick goals. But then who are you going to put in the ruck when he's not there? That's the whole problem you have. So yeah, I'm going to back Corio just because I think Anakie have a few problems. I think Josh Mawson, he's the big one for Anakie. If he plays a really good game, obviously he's living down here now, so he's training. He's going to be more consistent with his football. He's going to be playing more games for Anakie. I think if he plays some of his best football, he's one of the better midfielders in the league. So I'm still going to go with Corio, but I think it's contingent on how Anakie's midfield connects.
I think Mawson, the 3 or 4 players, Mawson, Gerard, Dalhouse and Barter were their better players again last week. And again, that responsibility is going to fall pretty heavily on them. Grub, as I said, Corio, as I said, to their credit last week, played some good footy. Obviously had a big enough gap just to survive a 7-goal last quarter from Geelong West, which is obviously did their work early in the game. But they'll need to be at their very best again just to make sure they win this game at home.
Yeah, they will. And I agree with that. Like when you talk about Josh Mawson, but you've hit the nail on the head yourself as well. You've got to add into that midfield. You've got to add Brad Gerard, who's a very good player. Barter will be in the ruck. Where I think they'd rather him at full forward replacing Bosley than find another ruck. But I think Big AJ's played every game at Werribee in the ruck.
Yep.
And going all right. So I don't think you'll be seeing him back there at all. He's got a lot of play. Like some of the blokes that come from Lara, they're taking a little bit of time to get going. Young Sammy Hoffman, I think he'll get better. Francesi Fulton's done all right. He's getting better. I think they're improving a little bit every week. I just think their class might be a bit more than Corio's at this stage. I just think last week, Corio were really, really good. But I just thought West contributed a fair bit early. Geez, they dropped a lot of marks within goal scoring range.
Especially early in the game.
Yeah, and if you hold them and kick truly, Corio don't get that far in front by 3/4 time. We probably have a cliffhanger. See, this one's tough. I'm going to go Anakie just. But it could be so close.
Yeah, look, I'm going to favour the home side today because I just think that their work last week was pretty impressive. As I said, they've been a couple of blokes now in the midfield that they can rely on, and that was Shoebridge and the other young bloke they brought in, which was McMahon. He was quite good.
Yeah, good player.
The other blokes that they brought in was Waldham Knight, and he went into the ruck work. He's a young bloke, can jump, so he gives a buck up to Green. And we were talking about Michaeli Harrison. Now I see he's named in their side.
In the race.
He's been playing reserves the last 3 games. So is that just to get some match fitness into him?
I'm not too sure where. I know it was a
Might
big
be general fitness as well.
Yeah, generally at the start of the season there was a big note how they'd recruit him to the club. So obviously, Michaeli Harrison's a good footballer.
Yeah.
Like he's not 6'2". He's only 5'4" probably, but he is a good footballer, a good user of the football, and he gets his hand on it enough to be dangerous.
He has to be, without being cruel, he has to be past his best, though.
Oh, yeah. No, obviously.
He was more than a good footballer.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So he's obviously past his best, but he can still, if he can provide that spark, he can still contribute a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
How old would he be?
Oh, geez, he'd be over 30, wouldn't he, Michaeli?
Well, he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
He's been around a long time. I wouldn't even like to suggest what he would be, but yeah, look, he's played some good football, and we've seen him at his very best, and he's as dangerous as anybody going around. But,
my word. And you'd hope he'd go well, too, because he's a beautiful kid.
Yeah,
he's a terrific kid.
Yeah, so they've recruited people into their club that have been or are good footballers, and they've already proven that from what we've seen in that one game last week.
But as you said, Smithy, you've got no Bennett's playing.
No.
So to lose both Toby and Joel,
that's
disastrous. It is absolutely disastrous. And then you throw in Jamesy and Russell Cowan and was it one of the Burnses went to, or one of the Jelenics went as well?
Yeah, well, there's only one Jelenic playing.
I think the other one's playing up there. I think they've only won one game too, Belan. But Toby's been best on the ground all bar one.
Yep.
And I think pretty much
Destin Burns was the other one, wasn't it? Yeah, you're right.
He's been best on the ground all bar one, but was in the best today. I think he's been named in their interleague squad, maybe. I don't know, but oh boy, to cover him first and then get better is such a hard task. So we wish them the best to do that.
Yeah, no, as I said, they're going along still in the right way, and as I said, they just need to find those 1 or 2 extra players. And again, if they can continue winning games, that might be of some great assistance to them. But I
tell you, they can win. Get their seconds umpire.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody Bennett. Unbelievable, Bennett.
How good was that, mate? He's umpiring the game in case of the second. So, he's done an extremely good job. Half time.
The other good thing about there was none of the Corio players back-chatted him when a free kick was played.
Well, we reckon there was a couple of little comments made, but he just wasn't 100% sure where they came from.
They jumped too sneaky.
Our final game before we get stuck into this one here this afternoon is Geelong West and Thompson. Both sides will be looking to put their score on the board. As I said, West, if they can play the footy they played in that last quarter for 4 quarters, then they'll give themselves a chance. And Thompson obviously proved that their efforts against Werribee last week will hold them in some pretty good stead. So Can you give Geelong West any chance against your mob, Thompson, Arch?
I will give them a chance, of course. I mean, both the teams, they're going to be hungry, and I think Geelong West will know that, this is probably going to be their best chance for a win this year. If it didn't happen last week, it's bound to happen this week. It's a very good chance for them. Thompson, some of their players, some of their recruits, Jasper Blair, he came from Queenscliff. He's had a good season so far. Jed Hannessy played a good game. Roy Dixon from Torquay. Noah Hannessy. So they've got some good kids playing some good football. Cooper Judd as well from Lara. He's been one of their better players. 18 to 22, under 25. So it's an unbelievable stat. And I think if they can keep this core group of kids together, they're going to be, it's going to be a lot quicker turnaround than you think. In a couple of years, they'll be right at the top again. But Geelong West, we saw them last week. I think, yeah, I think it'll be a close game. But I think maybe with the youth that Thompson have, maybe they can run over the top of Geelong West.
You sure you don't want to say anything about West, as though you just gave us an essay on Thompson?
Paul Davis got
I think-
5 last week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Nick Butters. I think if Nick Butters can hold his marks a bit better, then Geelong West will go a long way to winning the game. But I think he dropped 3 or 4 marks last week that could have resulted in goals, very close to goal as well.
yeah, we made mention during the course of the game and then after the game that as I said, those 3 or 4 drop marks and really the conditions weren't that poor last week, but just basic fundamentals of football that cost them early grub and gave them too much of a task to run down. But at home, hopefully, the way they finished, they can start that way this afternoon. They can obviously run Thompson, but can they do it enough and for long enough?
Well, that's obviously the case. If they can do that, West seconds at a 7-goal win over Thompson, so that gives them a little bit of a boost. But some terrible, terrible news come out of that game. Actually, Daniel Freeman was stretched off with a knee injury with about 3 minutes to go.
Ooh.
So that may be the last time we see Daniel Freeman. He's been a magnificent player for Thompson, premiership player, fantastic player, and it looks like he's been stretched off to hospital. So that's no good to see. But there was a lot to like about West last week, except for the early drop marks and things like that, which could have put them right in the game. I thought they've got the best defender in the game, and that's a big statement, but it's a true statement. Collins is the best defender in the game. He is a ripper, and I think if anyone from Thompson watched that game last week, they may put someone on him because he just generates attack after attack, but it kept getting repelled. So if they can keep that ball in there, at West again, where it's a little bit bigger ground, so they find it hard. Lynchy will find it hard to bottle up on that ground. You know what? I'm going to give him a chance. I haven't won one yet. I'm going to give him a chance to win this. I'm going to go for West by a point.
Well, I know we just spoke about Butters. I don't know whether he's playing this week. I've just had a look through the list there this afternoon, and he doesn't beat Butters, the big fella.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can't.
He just makes that stuff up. He doesn't know whether he's playing.
Oh no, I thought he was, but I just had a quick switch. Well, again, I'm looking on my list here, but I don't think he is playing this afternoon. And he was a bloke that obviously they need to have up forward. I know I think we spoke about it last year, and Braden Mitchell is also not listed on their squad as well. So they've got 2 blokes that are coming out of their side that are sort of really important to them. Now, Braden Mitchell, hey?
I didn't know that when I went from my point.
Yeah,
So
no.
you're changing
Might
it
go
to-
back the other way now.
Yeah, well, as I said, Braden Mitchell for me, I know they played him through the midfield and he's got to play up there if they get in the ball. They need some blokes through their midfield and he's a good player. They need another one of his type because we know him when he's around goals and in forward, he's a very smart competitor and can kick a lot of goals for them. So I was probably a little bit surprised they didn't switch him there early in the last quarter when they were making a charge. But as I said, they got very close but just couldn't get it done.
The thing there is those early marks that they dropped, Mitchell don't drop them.
No.
He don't drop them and then he kicks goals. But you can't be everywhere at once. And I'd like him in the midfield because he's got a couple of magnificent blind turns. You don't see many of them anymore.
Games are won by kicking goals.
Yeah.
So
And he
that's
can
why,
kick 'em.
yeah, that's why I would probably, you can start him on the ball to get his touch up if you like, but I'd be getting him to spend at least half the quarter, each quarter, up forward just as that marking option and that smart bloke around goals.
Yeah, agree.
Someone who can kick goals and's in for Thompson for his second game of the year as well is Devon Smith. So
Is he?
yeah, so yeah, I don't know if that's going to change your tip at all, Grub, as well, if you're back with the way of Thompson, but I think he'll be, a force to be reckoned with.
What, so Wester lost their two better players and Devon Smith. Yeah, that probably does change my tip, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
Yeah, look, I don't think after what the result last week, as I said, was their performance against Werribee, and I just think they might be probably just marginally too strong. But again, as I said, you're going to have a pretty good player playing against Jackson Collins because we know that he was very, very good last week. Do they play someone a negative role on him? I suppose that's something that Paul Lynch will have worked out, I reckon, by watching the video, because if he's done that during the week, he'd be the first bloke you'd be wanting to cut out of the game.
Yeah, but if Paul Davis can kick 5 or 6 and start looking like a good player again like he did last week, then Collins may have to go to him.
Yeah, and he might be able to play that loose role that
Yeah.
he sort of had to do last week. So
Yeah.
interesting. All right, gentlemen, our game here this afternoon, and it's going to be a very interesting one because we've got East Geelong. And again, when we talk about injuries, you've got a couple of blokes coming out in Beardsall and Lowe, and that's just to mention a couple that are not in their side this afternoon. But those two players mean a fair bit to, I think, the East Geelong side. I think Bannockburn have only made the one change. Aston Phillips comes in, and Jackie Broman's not in this afternoon. So, again, that's probably an important in and out for them as well. How do you see this one going?
Well, that makes a fair bit of difference too, you know. I tell you what, with me crook throat and Sammy Lowe not playing, if I'd have known that, I think I'd have stayed home. You know, I would have think I'd have stayed home if I knew Sammy wasn't playing, but that's a pretty big loss for me. Then Jackie Broman's a pretty big loss for Bannockburn as well. It would have been good to see the Beardsons go head to head because he's playing at Bannockburn, isn't he?
Yes.
Alex, he's
Yep,
playing.
yep.
So Bannockburn started off not playing bad football, but not winning games. They should have beat Werribee at Werribee. They were 14 points up with 3 minutes to go and turned the ball over a couple of times and lost the game. And when they come to Anzac Day, they were a chance to be 0-3, 0-4, 0-5, and things were looking doom and gloom. But they just improve every week. And a lot of that was on the back of a kid named Henry Hawker. He played all right early, then a bit better, then a bit better. And if he continues to improve, he'll be a huge handful out here today. East, on the other hand, they've been consistent. They've been solid, but they've lost a couple of good players. And that makes it so hard for them to be consistent every week if they're continually losing blokes out of their senior side. Gee, this is tough because they obviously play much better on this ground. I don't know. I think Bannockburn are playing well enough to upset them, but they have to continue their improvement.
Yeah, I think Benny Crombie and we know Johnny McIntyre has been in pretty good form all season.
That's
So
on the ground every week, Johnny.
yeah, so
He's hitting for a Whitley.
yeah,
already.
they're in some pretty good space here, and I'm interested to see the new ruck combination that they've got going out there, and then whether Izzard still spends some time out there, I'm not too sure, but I think the other bloke that they've got in their side, Kasparian. Don't know where he's come from.
Come from St Albans. He was signed last year and he did his ACL in the preseason. Before then, I think he was up country some way, somewhere. He was at, I was playing at Central Highlands League, so after Queens. But yeah, he was signed to be St Albans GFL ruckman last year, and then he obviously had an ACL injury, so didn't play a game. But yeah, then he's come over to East this year, and he's been in their best players 2 games this year, but he's only played I think 3 out of the 5. So
that's right, but he's in their side today, and they probably need him because otherwise their next option will be Caleb Izzard, and I'm not too sure whether he can do that ruck work all day against someone like Rishi Jim, who's probably been doing it for some time now. Yeah, he's been excellent in the games. We've seen him all year. He's about that.
He's nearly been their best player for the year.
Yep. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he wasn't leading their best and fairest. I know Hawker's been good. As I said against him, I thought his game was okay, but he kicked 2 goals, 3 or 4, I think it was, and
played well enough to kick 4.
Yeah. If he had a kick 4,
that's where his improvement's got to come from.
Exactly, and that's what you need. That's where you need to keep forward to be able to do that week in, week out. And they're the players that you want to pay the money for and get to play, good players into the side. You don't spend it on a halfback flanker, but you spend on blokes that are going to be key.
Oh, well, they don't grow on trees.
No, they don't. I know. So, but as I said, there's a task there for him. Steele has been good. We know that Smith, obviously, we talked about him, probably been as fit as he's been for some time. So, obviously, that may be a reason one why he's been showing some more consistency in his games. And obviously, the old hamstrings will take a bit of pressure off them. And Steele's just got to jump in and kick some goals for him as well, along with Ezard.
The thing that I'm not quite sure on, and why I don't know, is because of those new players you mentioned. I've never seen them.
Yep.
So it's very hard to comment on Kasparian and all these Sam Purdy from Lara.
Yep.
It's hard to comment on them when you're trying to pick a winner when you've never ever seen them play. So I reckon after today, when we see these blokes play, I'll get a better idea of just how well East are actually going, rather than just looking at results.
You also got Marley McComb. He's come from St Joseph's.
Who?
Marley McComb.
Marley McComb.
Yeah,
All right.
he's come from St Joseph's.
There's a few names in there.
and then
Samson Brunt.
Samson Brunt. Yeah, he played reserves last year for East Geelong, and then he's just back. He's playing seniors this year, but played reserves I think the last 2 years, so he's getting his call up.
So it's
So yeah, I think for this one, Cynthia, I'm going to lean towards East Geelong, but as I said, that Winchell-City game is really the only one that they had a convincing performance against. Obviously, beating some lower side by some big margins. Bannockburn, they've been competitive in all their games, and I think they looked, that game we saw them against Inverleigh, they were definitely the better team, but Inverleigh put up a good fight as well. I think, I was really impressed with Rory Harding in that game in the last quarter. I thought he had some big moments. Rob Maybaum, I thought, stood up when he had to. Reece Ginn played a good game all day. I think for East Geelong, obviously Crombie in the middle. I think he's got that class that we talk about. We say that the Riccardi's have it. I think Ben Crombie's got it as well. Obviously Zach Smith and then Caleb Ezard up forward as well. I'm looking forward to see. So I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think East Geelong should get the job done today.
That's another thing I've got to disagree with. Right? For Bannockburn to be a premiership side or a top final side, they have to get more out of Rob Maybaum. He hasn't lived up to the hype.
I
that
think
he
he played a
came
pretty
with.
good game that we.
I don't want him to play a pretty good game. I want him to take the game by the scruff of the neck, like he did in the GFL grand final a couple of years ago, and win the game for him and get the 3 votes, and then drop down a couple of levels. I need him, or Bannockburn need him, to do the same.
where
There's
did
a
he play in
couple
that game? Was he a centre back then?
He was on the back line.
Yep.
He marked everything. He ran down the ground. And I'd never seen him before, but how good's this bloke? And when they said he was coming here, I thought, wow, he'll be untouchable. Well, he hasn't been untouchable. He's been good. But as I say, there's a couple of sides you would think maybe a little bit better than Bannockburn at the moment. These blokes, like Maybaum, with the improvement of Hawker, that's what they need to be one of the top sides. So, yes, he's been good. They need him to be better than good because I think he is better than good.
So is his role that he's been playing, though, Grubber, I don't know if he's been actually played as a key centre half.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
I reckon last week, I think the last time we saw him, I think he actually lined up on a wing at some stage at some point.
Well, I've seen him play on a half-back flank, a wing, a half-forward flank, and on the ball.
Yep.
So Ronnie Pilgrim's got to look down and say, righto, I need to play this bloke in the spot where he can win us a big game of footy.
Yep.
What that is, well, that's up to him, not me. I'm just a goose. That's up to Ronnie Pilgrim to decide and play him there and leave him there, and hopefully he becomes the really, really, really good player that Bannockburn need to lift to be in the top echelon of the sides in the GDFL.
Well, he obviously gives you some. If he's been able to do what he's been doing and playing those roles at different areas, he's obviously a bloke you can and back into playing those roles. But again, you want domination out of it, don't you? So that he can really stand up and say, well, he'll go out. Here's a bloke that can play on a wing, be tall, take marks, get the ball forward, and be a really good link player. So. Look, it's interesting because I said I think they're one of the recruits that did his shoulder or hurt himself in the first game was it against Werribee or something or earlier than that, I think. He hasn't played, was it North Geelong? He hasn't played since, so they've got some players that are still got to come back into their side. Again, you stand amongst these blokes over at the side, they're all big boys, big lads.
Well, out of me, but the only reason I say this, Smitty, is not to have a go at him. The only reason I say this is because I honestly think he is that good.
Yep.
I honestly think he is. So I wouldn't say it if I didn't think he was good enough. There's a lot of blokes out there that play good football because that's what they do.
Yep.
They play good football. They haven't got that extra little bit of talent that this kid has.
Yeah.
And I think he's got it.
So up forward, as I said, they've got a number of options up there. Obviously, we still know that Fanning's going to be their key at their back half. Melville's been, young Austin he usually goes back and plays half back. And again, I'm not too sure what his role's been this year. But with their coach going out, he might have had more of a midfield role. Does anyone know that he's been through the midfield or not? Austin Melville? Not too sure.
Well, he's been getting in their best players,
Yeah,
but I
he's
don't know
obviously been
where.
around the ball.
Like, as I say, with them at the moment, I can only go on the results and the research that you do into what they do and how they go. But
Yep.
until you see a game, I can't really answer those questions. But who's the ruckman? Is that Kasparian?
Kasparian, yeah.
Kasparian.
Yeah.
Well, just keep an eye on him because I reckon he's not the nicest bloke you ever met. If you were getting in his way, he'll bowl you over.
Big
He
bloke.
don't mind. He's not. I'm not saying he goes outside the rules, but just look out when he's coming through because he's got a bit in him.
So for Bannockburn, do you put someone straight away to East Geelong's most damaging forward in Zach Smith? Do you put Salah to him or Bowden?
Well, again,
Thompson playing down there.
It
Gorman.
depends on how they long up and where Steele plays, I think, because obviously they've got their options down back. Cooper Edwards has been down back this year. You know that Sellers and Clifton will get probably the smaller ones, so along with Ryan Bowden. So their key backs is Tommy Bath.
Yeah.
May go to him. It might be a better option for him because obviously Tommy is probably just marginally quicker than Bowden.
He's probably quicker than Bowden, is he?
Oh, I think a little bit, maybe. But I think Bowden will go to the taller option. I would think that would be the way they would start. And then again, you just don't know what they'll run through there. So they've got some options to go back through there. It's going to be interesting. As I said, Jacob Nolan's from a while back, as I said, young kid that was played some really good football as a junior and has come back over the last couple of years and got himself in this side. So here's another option that they do have that can play either end of the ground, or he can actually, I think he did some ruck work here. I think as the number 2 ruckman there at some stage, along with Benny Mulville. So East also provide players that not only play in one or two positions, but mostly all over the ground. So it's going to be an evenly matched game here this afternoon. As I said, I'm really looking forward to the contest here to see how both sides go and see exactly where they are. Because as I said, it's we're only 5 games in. I understand that, but you want to be on the positive after the first 5 or 6 games to be 3-2, or at least match up with 3-3. And Bannockburn, I think their run doesn't get any easier in the next week or so. So they've got 4 or 5 of their harder games that they've had to play and will need to continue their good form. So will that hold them in good stead or bad? I'm not too sure, but we'll soon find out.
If they can snag 1 or 2 of them, it will.
Oh,
Because then
absolutely.
they'll have a run where they should win some games and get some momentum.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before you keep going, Spitty,
Yep.
we've got a name.
Your team.
Hey?
Your team.
My team.
Yep.
My team of the year. And today our umpires, I tell you what, we've got a few good ones today too. Sammy Williams, he's been around a while. Sammy's a good kid. Adam Jones, we've seen Adam Jones quite a lot. And a bloke I haven't heard of, but I've heard a lot of good things about, young Toby Sargent. So we're in good hands today, boys.
We're going to take a short break, going back to the studio because the game's not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Play is underway and ball from the middle of the ground. It's Crombie in the middle. He's tackled straight away. We've got Bannockburn kicking to the Cardinia Park end, and obviously East Geelong to the Queenscliff Road. So ball thrown up again. This time Kasparian gets the ball down, goes to Marnie. He can't take clean possession. Coming through was Jervey's got the handball outside to Phillips. He's tackled from behind, got the little handball out. Ball is kept alive. Now it's East Geelong with a chance through Payne. Ball comes out the back of the contest. It's going back further now. They've run the ball back to the half-back line. Crombie again with ball in hand. Looks sideways. Mulville's there, but out the back has a teammate in Ollis. So Ollis now, little left foot goes short and finds McIntyre. On centre wing, handball goes further afield. And again, it's Payne with the ball in his hand. They go back to him now by hand. He runs, carries, kicks long into the forward line. That could be down the field. And that wasn't too smart there from Maybourne. And it's going to be a free kick going to, and I can't see who's got the ball in the pocket. Might be Zach Smith, is it?
It is.
Got the green boots on. So his first opportunity here is with Zach Smith. And this will be a positive start for them. Forward pocket. Broadcast side of the ground. Kicks that goal. Didn't hit that real well. It's gone across the face. Actually, it's gone out of bounds on the full, so he didn't hit that very well at all. So it's Bowden that kicks the ball up and goes back into their half-back line. The mark is taken out there. And I reckon that might be Mackie. Comes back to the goal square. It was dangerous, but it's okay. They play on now from Bowden. Goes long out to the half-back line. Harding up over the top. Had a first crack at it and a second. Now at ground level. Sits on the top of it. Umpire said that is okay. And he will ask for it back. So in front of the scoreboard here at East Geelong.
He must have been listening to Rob Mabel and got angry.
Yeah, he did.
That's a
He
stupid thing to do.
It was.
Bloody
Very.
stupid thing to do.
McIntyre with ball in hand. Handball tries to get it over the top of the pack. Umpire said had time but didn't get rid of the ball correctly. So free kick will go to Bannockburn. And it's Marnie that's going to be the recipient there. So half back line for Bannockburn. Goes back inside to Maybourne. So again, still inside their defensive 50. Options down the ground. Hawker will be obviously target. He goes in that direction, up with one end. Oh, that's a nice grab. Got it on the second grab. So he's now on centre wing. He's got a player inside, and he goes to that player now inside. Phillips takes the mark. Handball's outside. Jervey's on the run now. Goes quickly into their forward line. Nice kick towards Kelly. He comes up and presents and takes the mark inside 50. So Bannockburn now with an opportunity to go back and shoot for goal.
He don't mind the goal. I think he kicked 4 or 5 against Werribee Central himself, didn't he?
Bailey Kelly, I think
yeah.
a couple of weeks back he did.
Yes, he did.
So an opportunity here for Bannockburn. And Bailey Kelly. So he's going to kick from inside 50 or right on as he makes contact with the ball. Strikes it pretty nicely. They've got the carry. And that has gone straight through. So Bannockburn are on the board through Bailey Kelly. The first goal of the afternoon. They are one straight. They lead East Geelong yet to score. We've gone 3 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, first quarter scoreboard.
That's a great start by Bannockburn because they were right under the pump. A silly down the ground free kick that could have easily resulted in the goal to East. He didn't quite take the opportunity. The ball came back. East hardly touched the ball from back line to forward line. Again, a really good mark and play on well was Big Henry Hawker. He's right into it early. And a nice lead from Bailey Kelly. And that was a lovely, lovely kick. A lot of times in GDFNL footy, you see them not quite kick that well. That's a beautiful kick. And that's a great start to Bannockburn.
Just so shows that bad kicking's bad football. Zach Smith misses one down one end and Bannockburn go up the other end. Bailey Kelly kicks that goal. So we are back in the middle now. Sparing try to get the ball out. Couldn't quite. Jervey's with quick hands. Going to go forward through Gin. Here comes Hawker and takes the mark. He got a metre or two on his opponent very early. And he can never catch up on him. And it was not the best kick out in front of him, but he read it well off the boot.
You know the hardest thing to beat a big man? A big man got a big leap, can take a big mark and all that. But a big man that can read the play like that is very, very hard to beat because he had to wait for the ball to come off the boot and he still read it beautifully and left his opponent 1.5 metres in his wake.
Watched him play very well in the Anzac Day clash now. He comes back for his first of the day. It looks okay off the boot as it's squeezed in. He's celebrated, but it's a minor score. So 1-1-7 now, Bannockburn, and we have gone 4.5 minutes on the Buckley's Entertainment first quarter scoreboard.
They haven't kicked that well over the first 3 or 4 weeks. So, that one goes through. It's 2-0. I think they've really, really got to concentrate on their kicking for goal today, the Tigers.
I think Paddy Bissington to kick in for East Geelong. St Mary's products. Going to go to the pocket.
Alan Moore's son-in-law too, I think, or grandson.
Just deep in the pocket now. East Geelong. Go down the line. Looks well set. Might have been Mayborn in front. It was. He couldn't take the mark now. Ball gets the ground. And Jervies, no, the ball goes forward. Opportunity for Bannockburn. Gets out the back. We've got the numbers here. East Geelong. Running back for the ball is Harding, although they do well East Geelong. Rebound, and they're going to kick out now and find Nolan. So Nolan has the ball. He plays on. He's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to switch. The ball is smothered off his boot. Opportunity for Bannockburn now. McIntyre in there. Can he gather the ball? He couldn't quite. That might have been a throw. No, the umpires said he was held, and it's unlucky for Bannockburn because Wilson Mack was running into an open goal.
That was 50-50, wasn't it?
He's got the ball.
So McIntyre is going to kick in the line now, all over the head. Henderson gets through. He's going to handball off to Mack. He might kick a goal now. Opportunity, and no, draws it to the near side. So another opportunity going begging for Bannockburn early. We 1-2 now, 8, and we have gone 6 minutes on this Buckley's Entertainment first quarter scoreboard.
Visiting with the ball at full back. He's going to be kicking in. Lead up from Mulwood, but that is Nord. He's got an option short again, still with that same player. He's not even looking this side of the ground. He goes to the back pocket. Mark is taken out there. East Geelong. So they look to go down that far side. Crombie now goes long. Outside 50 towards centre wing. Spoil on the ball, comes down, ends up there. Ends up with Nolan of East Geelong. Oh, tackle from behind, ball come out, and that's a good strong tackle. And that be Mack once again, I reckon.
Took a couple of steps. That's his prior.
Yep. So Mack now is outside 50. This is again the important kick going in. Not too sure. Takes on the player on the mark. Goes around now. Kicks back towards the pocket. Hawker's out there. Had Wilson in front of him, but unfortunately, the ball went through his hands over the boundary line, and a throw-in will take place.
I don't know whether he used his voice or not, the big fellow Hawker then, but I'd have probably been swearing at him, get out of the so-and-so way, because that was his. That was his.
Would have hit him on the chest.
Oh, my word, it would have.
Throw in on the forward pocket. Kasparian taps the ball back towards the boundary line. McIntyre unable to keep it in, so it's gone over the boundary line. And they throw in similar position to last. Again, still in backing Bannockburn's attacking end. The umpire throws it back in again. This time Kelly doing the ruck work. Ball comes out. Handball comes out to Fletcher. Fletcher gets it out towards Jervies. Jervies further afield. Not taken cleanly. Payne. East Geelong goes back to Bissington. Put him under pressure. Able to get, though, away from the player coming at him. Kicks out towards Ezard. And that's a good mark leading up at the ball. So Ezard now will go along the boundary line. Short kick. That wasn't a great kick. Put Mulville under pressure. Handball goes outside to Crombie again. He gets a kick on the ball going forward. And I reckon that's going to be a little bit too wide over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full.
That was
kick
great pressure
going
on him.
back to Bannockburn.
Who was that?
Young Phillips.
Phillips.
Yep.
Great pressure.
Salah with the ball. Got an option to go backwards and does that now. Back towards Perkins. Perkins looks back inside the middle of the ground. Bowden there by himself. Takes an uncontested mark. Wants to go longer now or across the ground further. Go out towards Jervy. Put him under a bit of pressure. Ball comes to ground. Ground level now. The player and leading in the race for the ball was Zimmer, but he sees the ball over the boundary line and we will have a throw in.
He's another one that needs to improve. Jervy's from what we've seen because his disposal hasn't been as great this year, has it?
Not as good. No.
No.
That game, especially against North Geelong, turned the ball over a lot of times.
He did, yeah.
So ball true centre wing, far side of the ground now.
Where's he throwing it?
Comes back in. It was a long throw in. Now McIntyre gets out, passes to Ezard. Ezard, good pick up and then turn around. Now he's going to go to Zach Smith in the pocket. Can he find him? He does! Well done from Caleb Ezard. He turned his opponent inside out. Turned around and then lowered his eyes and hit the kick precisely to the pocket. And Zach Smith's going to line up from 25 metres out. Not too much angle about it. You know, a little bit of angle about it. The kick his first for the day.
Yeah, he needs to kick this after that first one. He has to kick
saw
this.
in a couple of finals last year. He missed.
Well, he's a
goals
confidence
early.
player. He's a confidence player. You need some early.
Smith goes back, makes the goal umpire work.
Missed another one.
Missed it to the far side. So East Geelong have their first score of the day. It's a 1- score. It's they are trailing Bannockburn 1-8. It's going to be quickly played on. We've gone 10 minutes in this first quarter, brought to you by Bucks Entertainment. Bannockburn in the back pocket now. Ezard is trolling the situation, so I'm going to avoid him. Hawker might fly. He had his arm held. Umpire said play on. Ends up with Marnie. Ball gets out the back. Marnie, handball, and then kicked to the centre of the ground. Not his best. Harding takes a good contested mark. This is Brody. He's going to go to the centre of the ground. Good vision, although it wasn't a great kick. In between two players, it was good hands picked up. And ends up with Perkins. Perkins over the top on the far side. Wilson Mack has. He drops the mark. He should have taken that. He's going to get away from his man, although it was a good tackle. He just handballs to some open space. It's going to be turned over in the end. So Purdy gathers the ball. He's going to kick back into the middle of the ground.
He really mucked that up, didn't he?
He did. Pop. And now McTie. Oh, good tackle
No problem.
made. So it's going to be a stoppage near the centre of the ground. So 10.5 minutes gone.
How do you know that? Where's the clock?
I've got one here.
Oh, okay. We don't need you, Smithy, at all.
Back in now. Ball bubbling around. McIntyre may have been held, or he might have done the honk.
It's going the other way.
Kick. So opportunity for Bannockburn now. They're at 70 metres out from goal. They go inside here. Can Hawker fly? Couldn't quite gather that one. And then at ground level, handball back. Gin involved as well. And then a good spin manoeuvre there it was. And there's been a dumb tackle, so it's going to be play on. McComb ends up with the ball. He's going to go inside 450. Here's Zach Smith's opportunity again. He drops the ball. Was he held? Umpire says yes. He was held.
Held on to Salazar.
So the old trick play. He's going to want to give the ball back here, Salah. Looks like he's got the job in. Oh, he's going to play on Zach Smith from 50 metres. No one guarding the mark. And he's going to kick the goal and kick his first of the day. It's also East Geelong's first. 117 to 128. East Geelong trailing Bannockburn by a point. We've gone 11.5 minutes in this Buckley's Entertainment first quarter scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really can't comment on that because the bloke had parked the truck. I can't even see you. Can you straighten this truck up a bit, mate? But I'll tell you what I can see. He is up and about. But the second shot he had, right, you talked about who would go on him at the start. It wouldn't matter if Silvani went on him because of that Ezard beautiful bit of play. No one could stop that. And again, he was in the opportunity. So what they've got to do to stop this bloke is to make sure that they put pressure on the blokes coming through the middle who are kicking the ball into the forward line.
So back in the middle we go once again. This time, Gin up over the top. Ball comes out, but it's going to be Crombie emerges with it. Got the handball outside. And he looks over his teammate there, and Martin. Ball goes further afield. Now it was Zimmer from centre wing, goes into their half-forward line. Coming out, Perkins, tried to trap the ball. Did so, got the handball away to Maybaum. Root to ball very quickly. Ball now runs into their forward line. Marnie leads in the race for the ball, but Mulville's been able to beat him to it. Did a nice bit of work, got the handball out. Unfortunately, to nobody there. Marnie goes back after it, and again, ball forced over the boundary line inside forward 50 for Bannockburn. So they'll have a chance to set up from there. About 40 metres around from the goal post. And umpire with ball in hand. So Bailey Kelly down doing the ruck work. Ben Mulville doing the ruck work for East Geelong. He gets hand on ball. Comes back to him. He got the ball and freed it up, but it ends up in the hands of Bannockburn. Went out towards Jervis. He might have been hit a bit high there, was it? No. It must have been.
Yeah.
Umpire said it's going to be a free kick. So to Connor Jervis, 40 metres out from goal, directly in front. An opportunity for his first and the second for Bannockburn. So Jervis comes in now. Kicks from about 45, directly in front. Don't think he started that in the right spot, and it's gone through for another minor score. So again, wasting some opportunities. And Bannockburn now to 1-3. East Geelong 1-1, 14 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
Something to retrieve the ball. It's going over the fence and towards the houses.
Oh, look, out here, you've got Zach Smith and his opponent 15 metres away.
Yep.
I don't like that. Stand right on his ankles and feet all day. All day.
So they're going to go down the line on the path to McComb. Also is going to fly. Couldn't quite bring the ball down with Kasparian. The ball's going to end up over the boundary. Oh, no. He's called the lasso. He's called the lasso. Now the umpires are going to converge. This is, we talk about grub. It's not black and white, the rule, is it?
Well, it should be. So what actually happened?
Well, no, they've changed their decision. So we've seen this a few times.
Yeah. It wasn't a handball or a possession, was it?
Oh, I couldn't see the truck.
No. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a throw-in's the right decision. The Brown umpire got it wrong at first. Now they got it right.
So boundary umpire as the ball in now. Spearing gets front spotted. Reese Junior won the tap out. In under there's Crombie as well. He couldn't get the ball out. Still trying to. And the ball is wrapped up, so they'll have another go. So early on, 15 minutes gone. 117 to 139. Ball is up again. Gin taps the ball in the pass. East Geelong win the ball now. Crombie, quick hands out. Couldn't quite find his teammate. Goes and finds his own ball and then gets wrapped up in a beautiful tackle. It's going to go the way of Bannockburn. So it was Brodie Harding. Oh, no, he said it was too high. He must have. So they all
think he
set up
reversed
to
it.
go inside forward 50. He might have reversed it. So Crombie went quickly. They went to Zimmer, and then Zimmer goes wide. It wasn't a great kick. It was nearly turned over, though the mark was dropped. The umpire.
Jeez, I tell you what, he had a
Second to
fair bit
me.
of it, didn't he?
He did.
Seemed to bring it to the ground.
So half forward flank for Bannockburn nearly. Spearing gets up, couldn't quite win that tap down now. Bannockburn looking to push forward. They're going to go back the other way now. So opportunity for East Geelong going forward. Steal his first look of the day. And the ball gets punched. Might end up over the boundary line. Coming through. Does take the ball. Was Rory Harding. Peroxide blonde hair, but it ends up over the boundary line. So I have another ball in. True centre wing. The other side of the ground. Room side of the ground. So Spearing wins that down. Beautiful tap to McIntyre. McIntyre in the path of Ezard. He did well last time. We'll see how he goes. Push the opponent off the ball. Now Perkins is there. It's a foot race back to goal. Zimmer was there as well. He couldn't quite. Perkins did well in the end. Now rush kick out and it's going to work. Jervy's got some space. He's going to give a handball off. Now back into the middle of the ground. Maybaum. He gets hit. Couldn't quite. Now McIntyre again, he's been everywhere earlier. Then good hands, East Geelong. They're going to be out if they get some space in the middle of the ground. Minari over the top. Now an opportunity for McComb. He's going to go inside the forward 50 and find a target and steal. So Steele is about 50 out, right on the arc. And he may go back and look at East Geelong's second goal of the day. And take his best effort from here. Here's a long kick of the football. Is there much breeze around, you know, Rob? Not too much. They shouldn't
What was that?
matter as much. He's going to go the short chip kick, and they were aware of it. They knew Smith was going to come up. Might have been Henderson in the hole, and then also there defending was Bowden. He did well on that occasion. Bannockburn to shut that down. Everyone knew the ball was going to go on the pass of Zach Smith. So Ezard in the ruck while they're inside forward 50. Just wins the ball, kicks forward now. Opportunity, two back. Perkins does well. As the goalkeeper is going to go out wide through the hands on that occasion. Now it's Rory Harding. It wasn't his best kick. Nearly turned the ball over. Though East Geelong couldn't quite cover the ball. He keeps running Rory Harding. You might get the ball back here. Now it's a kick forward by Beardsall and then sitting back in the hole. So East Geelong here going to go forward out wide now to the wing. McIntyre has the ball and he's just going to slow it down for the moment. Go forward. It's 2-on-1 up and it's going to go over the boundary line. So 117 East Geelong to 139. Bannockburn leading East Geelong early in this one. 18 minutes in this first quarter gone. Brought to you by Bucks Entertainment.
You said that they were ready for the Smith pass. The first one looked like it was going to go to Smith, but beautifully to Steele. So that was the good part of it. But then Steele bugging it up by going back to Smith. He should have the shot.
So ball now is back in play. Picked up Crombie, running back towards the boundary line. Teammate Hobbs out there. Ball back inside now. McIntyre, right boot, goes into their forward line. It's going to be Ezard, I would have thought, over the top, but it ends up with the hands there of Edwards. Edwards from Bannockburn, handballs outside. Goes towards the boundary line and has gone out of bounce.
Free kick
That
for
was
a
a free
dump
kick.
tackle.
Going back to Cooper Edwards, I think it is. So it will be a free kick to Bannockburn. So he's got the ball just inside defensive 50. Got a short option straight up the ground. Reece Gin in some space by himself. He now goes short. Kick had to be good. Jerby's able to put his hand in there just to make sure he kept it in the field of play. Goes back towards Marnie. Tackle from behind. Ball comes out. Umpire said good strong tackle there. Johnny McIntyre rewarded with the free kick and he can get the ball going back East Geelong's way from centre wing. Right in front of where we sit here at East Geelong. Only looking down the boundary line. Short kick coming up. I'll set the ball, and he takes the mark. Okay, looking back inside. Go along the boundary line. They go once more. Steele goes over the top of his head, over the boundary line, and that will be a free kick going to Bannockburn, I think.
Yeah, it's Mayborn.
So Rab Mayborn is just inside, obviously, that side 50, because he's got the free kick there. He's going to go across the ground, so this could be dangerous. Player out by himself as Seller. This is going to get there. Extremely dangerous. Ball comes to ground. Phillips arrives at the contest over the top of it. How will the umpire see it? Too sure whether that's the place to go grub at this stage of the game. Any stage of the game.
Unbelievable.
Good courage from Smith going back for the flight.
So ball now up in that ruck contest. Out the back, goes back to Mayborn. He couldn't take clean possession. Comes out, picked up, cleared away there by East Geelong by McComb. Goes back to their half-forward line. Picked up by Harding. Had one held, able to free it up and get it out. Goes towards Bowden. Goes across the ground and finds his brother. And now Ryan Bowden from the half-back line runs and carries. Goes out towards centre wing. Hawker leads in the race for the ball. Can he keep it in the field of play?
No.
Yes, he will. No, he won't.
No way.
And it has gone over. Was it? Oh, no, he's indicated the lasso.
No, it's a throw-in. There's a
No,
throw-in.
he didn't touch it before it went over.
Must have
did he?
gone,
No,
well, he said it must have gone over the boundary line. So he goes back inside, and that was McIntyre. They go back inside to Simons. He goes across the ground. Players set up over there. Mark not taken. Ball picked up there. Perkins. He comes through. Ball comes out. Tackle was strong enough. In the hands now. Crombie loads up, goes long, back into their forward line. And it's going to bounce and go into their forward pocket. Salah is, I'm going to be happy enough to see it go over the boundary line, and a throw-in will take place.
So he touched it once the ball went out, did he?
Must have been over the line.
Okay, I see. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. They got it right then. It's good.
And quick decision made. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's
Even
what
better.
we want. That's what we want. I don't even care if it's the wrong decision. If it gets the game going instead of this stupid what happened here, what happened there, that's a bad look on the game.
So from the contest, McIntyre takes the ball, tries to sneak out the back, got the handball away, ends up there with Marnie again. He was tackled, and umpire said it was high, so a free kick going to Marnie off Bannockburn back pocket. So hopefully he looks straight down the ground and doesn't go across the face of it.
Oh, sorry. I can't believe he did that. I think that was Mayborn.
It was, yeah. He goes straight down the ground towards Fletcher Wilson. Ball comes out the back, cleaned up out there, and kicked further. It was going to be kicked by Purdy. Decides this time to kick forward. Ezard comes up at the ball, couldn't delete the mark. Handball comes back outside, ends up with Edwards again. Puts boot to ball. Mark required. Out the back, not taken. Mayborn first to it to cover. Got the handball away, but didn't hit the target. So it's through Monaghan now. He gets the handball back inside to Simons. Back into the forward line again. Mark taken by Kelly. Bannockburn hopefully can settle things down. They've got possession of the ball. They go across the ground now into the hands of Phillips. Players running further afield. He goes out the back door to Perkins. Went back to Phillips by hand. He now kicks. Kick was smothered off the boot. So an opportunity here now. East Geelong able to turn things up with Steele. Goes back inside 50 towards Smith. Mark not taken there. Phillips went back with the flight of the ball. Able to make a contest. Kick round the body. Mark taken out there. But I think...
Free kick. Coming back to Zach Smith.
Gee,
He was getting howled.
No, he wasn't. He played front on contact.
Yeah, he did.
But the bloke had his eyes on. If you pay that, that means all those Jonathan Brown and Nick Rewalt marks are not marks.
Yeah.
Right? If you've got your eye on the footy, it's not front on contact. I thought it was gutsy and fantastic, but the umpire, I think, got it wrong.
So Smith from 50 now to kick his second goal of the day. He's 30th of the year as well. He comes back. Doesn't look great off the boot. Ezard in good position and takes the mark.
See, that's good from Zach Smith. He's bringing teammates into the game by passing it to him, see?
So, Caleb Ezard did well to hold the space there and pushed off at the right time. So he's going to have an opportunity here to go around the corner.
These are the easy ones.
Yeah, does he kick to the eyes?
Oh, word he has.
Kicks East Geelong second. 2-1-13 now to Bannockburn. They lead Bannockburn now 1-3-9. We have gone 24 minutes in this first quarter. Brought to you by Bucky's Entertainment.
Pressure's got into them a bit. They opened up nicely, but I tell you what, it's tough out there. Some of those tackles, that East Geelong are tackling hard, and Bannockburn are just struggling a little bit to keep to it. When a bloke's on them, goes to do the run around goal. How far do you got to be away from it?
You got to be 10 metres.
Yeah. They've got to make that 5 because they make that goal in as silly. Absolute silly. They make all these rules to hurt the backman, and yet the forwards get everything given to them.
Bailey Kelly doing the ruck work now. That's interesting. Ball up there. Kasparian, the height, gets the first hand of the ball, went back and collected it. Little boot into their half-forward line. Coming up, they are in possession of the ball once again. They go looking towards Ezard. Kick was a little bit low for the big fella. Picked up there by Bowden. Just puts boot the ball. Goes back towards centre wing. Out the back, Harding had the ball. Got his teammate, or got his brother involved. Outside now. And it was Beardsall got the ball in towards Fletcher Wilson. He kicks the ball off the ground. I'm not too sure whether it's a circle lasso, but it must have been inside 50, so it's not. Although East Geelong are taking the kick anyway, so must have been indicated from back there. So East Geelong now move the ball back towards centre wing. McIntyre in front. Mark not taken out the back. Picked up out there. It wasn't taken cleanly. And that was from Gorman, but he's going to get a free kick there.
Just got him a touch on the shoulder.
So he goes looking for his forward in Hawker. Kick wasn't great. Ball gets over the backy though. He got to him. Unfortunately, couldn't take clean possession. Good work there from Ollis. Got the handball at the back and ends up with Kasparian from a short kick in defence. So Kasparian now another chip forward. Also good into the hands now of Simons. So he's still inside the defensive end, but he goes back into the middle of the ground. Player in space. Mulville was going to give the handball, I thought, but player was covered off. Mack just stands there. Sort of when you can't even turn yourself around and face the flag of the mark. Ball outside. Nice kick. Goes outside to his brother now. Handball's back inside. McIntyre on the run. Looks to give the handball outside. They've done that nicely. McComb into their forward line. That kick wasn't great. Ends up in the hands, or had it in the hands. Bannockburn kicked the ball off the ground. That goes across the face of goal. The race is on. First to a right is Mulville. Steps around Cooper Edwards. So he was able to hold him up though. Goes out the back. Ball now in dispute. Little chip up over the top. Ends up in the hands of Jervis. Into the middle of the ground. Outside to the running player in Mack. Goes back outside. Handball comes out, and that's Harding once again. He goes long into their forward line.
No one home.
Who is kicking turns. The mark has been taken out there. And I reckon that could be Purdy. Goes short up the middle of the ground to Mulville as a siren sounds to end the first quarter here, which will see East Geelong go in at 2-1-13, leading Bannockburn 1-3-9. Goal kickers Zach Smith, Ezard are the goal kickers for East Geelong, and Bailey Kelly, the only goal kicker for Bannockburn. Take a short break. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. quarter time, it is East Geelong 2-1. They lead Bannockburn 1-3. Other scores from around the ground. Inverleigh 2-8. Currently trailing Winchelsea 4 goals, 8-28. So it's 20-28 there. Belmont Lions are 5 behinds. Werribee Central's 3 goals, 6-24. Belpost still started well, 4-1-25. Currently lead North Geelong 2-1-13. Anakie 4-2-26 lead Corio 2-4-16. And the Giants 4 behinds trail Thompson 4 goals, 1. So some interesting little scores there around the league at this stage.
Doesn't seem to be much wind about, is there?
I don't think so, Grub. From here, we usually get a bit of a breeze coming in the box all the time, but even that seems to have died off at this stage here. So
Well, we've got an early.
we could feel
When we
it. We could
first got
definitely
here.
feel it, yeah. And I don't know whether that's because the back door was open or whether what that was. But anyway, the game pretty evenly poised here, Grub.
Look, I couldn't believe, because I can't see the scoreboard, I can't believe it was only 2 goals to 1. Well, for some reason, I thought the play deserved more. It was a really good game of footy. Bannockburn opened up really, really well. They were good. They were clean. But East Geelong, I think, really put the pressure on. They tackled hard, and all of a sudden, Bannockburn wasn't quite as clean, and they couldn't get the ball past their half-forward line. And a bloke streaming in, kicking it straight down the defender's throat. Arch, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon I reckon they spoke about it the break. I reckon that they couldn't get the ball past halfway after the first half of that quarter. So it's credit to East Geelong the way that they set up behind the ball. I think that once they got it past there as well, I don't know if they were playing extra man defense, but it looked like that they always had the ball coming back. But it also led to a very congested forward line for East Geelong. You can obviously tell they're looking for Smith and Ezard as well. And I thought Ezard had a really good first quarter. I thought even the ball wasn't favoured to his side. He brought the ball to ground and brought his small forwards into the game and had good hands. So I think if they get their link up passage of play going forward, then they're going to be. They could have kicked another couple of goals, and I think that Bannockburn are going to be weary of that in the second quarter.
Well,
Did they lose their forward structure, Bannockburn?
Yeah, they did. They did. And I don't know the reason for that. That's not the hard tackle. They made them not be quite as clean coming in, but yeah, they lost their structure. I thought their structure was good early, but they did lose that a little bit, and I think Ronnie's going to try and find that out again. But up the other end, your mate Smith, he looks like he's well. We know how dangerous that he is. He's kicked one. He possibly could have kicked 3. That tells a story with him, because if he had a kick 3, look out, he's in for a big day. So now he's got to fight his way back. As I said earlier, you have to put the pressure in the tackling that East Geelong are putting on Bannockburn. Yep. Bannockburn have to put that on the midfielders and the half forwards coming through to make sure that the ball, what you need really is a genuine one-on-one, because you have a chance to beat him with a genuine one-on-one. But when it's delivered to him out in front, you can't beat him, and then he's got to kick straight. But when Reece Ginn goes out of the ruck, look out, because Bailey Kelly's not much taller than me, and I'm 5'5". So that's a bit of a worry. I've had a look around. I think the only other bloke, and I know you robbing Peter to pay Paul, but you would only hope for it for about 5 or 6 minutes. But Hawker's got to go into the ruck, and Ginn's got to go off the ground, have his rest, and then come back and re-establish it again. I think you can lose 5, 6, 7 minutes. But as soon as Bailey Kelly went into the ruck, Casperi just said, here, who wants it? Yep, yours, bang, and away they went. You cannot win it out of the centre when the ruckman's 3 foot taller than the other ruckman. You cannot win it.
And I don't think they've actually used anyone else in there, have they?
No.
Because I thought I know Benny Melville had done ruck work here before, and I thought they might have actually thrown Ezard in, but again, he was playing pretty well up forward, so it's probably not an option you want to take.
I think Ezard takes the ruck when it's in the forward line.
Well, he does.
Yeah, and that lets Casperian set up behind the ball as well, and he'll get a bit of a break.
But I'll tell you one thing. If you're ready to take Casperian off and give him a spell, and then they bring Bailey Kelly in, you go, stay where you are, son. Have another 5 minutes, because it could be a difference of kicking a goal or two, and it is a difference.
Yes, it is.
What about Mayborn? You chuck him in the ruck?
Well, again, he's not a jumper. You'd probably be someone like a Ryan Perkins that can jump at the ball. That's all you need, someone to compete. But again, I agree with Grubb. I think maybe Hawker just for the ruck contest, and then someone else to run around the ground and send him straight back to centre forward. So siren sounded here. Second quarter is underway, and it's going to be up in there. And again, Ginn this time first gets the ball down, comes towards centre wing, picked up there by Phillips, tried to force his way through, couldn't do so. Tackled. Umpire said no, he didn't have any prior opportunity there, so the ball will go back to the umpire. And again, not too far from the centre circle where that first bounce took place. Again, up ruck contest. Again, maybe Gin up over the top, but it's going to be Minari who gets the ball and goes back into their half forward line. Coming out to meet the ball up. That was a nice clean pick up. Goes back in the hands of Hoff now. Into the forward line. Good use again. And Ezard out on a strong lead. Takes the mark and can go back and look at his second goal of the afternoon. And is well within range. And would be a great start here again for the East Geelong side.
Well, it is. And he's taken responsibility. He's walked with his back to the play. I know the old people will say he should never do that. But he's decided he's going to kick this goal. So don't bother leading. I'm having a shot for goal.
He's had more marks today than I've seen him take for a while. So he's done extremely well. He seems to be playing some positive football. Steps in now and will kick from right on 50. That looked pretty nice.
And that's why.
Umpire just stood there, looked straight back over her head, and that's gone straight through for goal. His second, East Geelong, their third. They're 3-1. Bannockburn are 1-3, and we have gone just one on 1 minute. Elders Insurance second quarter.
We've watched Big Caleb Ezard play for quite a few years now. And what you just said, Smithy, is what we've always asked him to do. We've always thought that he hasn't probably quite used his size to take enough marks. But big blokes take a fair while to develop, and maybe this is it. Maybe he's got through all that, and instead of taking his few marks, he's going to take a few. And that was a beautiful kick. And if you can kick a footy like that, well, that's when you kick the goals, because he might have turned the corner, this big fella.
So ball is up back in the middle again now. Jin won that tap down, although Jervey was tackled straight away, so he'll have another stoppage in the middle of the ground. Sparing. Jin won that one again. Down to Jervey. He can get the ball out, and the umpire has picked out a free kick. It might have been for a trip. And Jervey's handball's off now. Opportunity for Bannockburn. It kind of Beardsall inside the 450. Looking for Hawker, and Hawker takes a good mark. Kick didn't 100% favour him, but used his body well enough. He's going to go back and look at his first goal of the day. He's already got one behind.
And he's got to emulate what the big fella Ezard just did to keep Bannockburn in line. I just think he's got to kick this goal. It's very important.
I mean, he had some troubles in that game we watched him against Inverleigh, kicking straight as well. So, for the same story, Zach Smith got a couple on the board early. Confidence will grow. So he comes in from 50 now. Henry Hawker looks pretty good off the boot.
No.
Just to the near side. So another behind. 2 behinds for Henry Hawker. 3-1-19 East Geelong to 1-4-10 Bannockburn now in this second quarter. Brought to you by Elders Insurance. They're going to go quickly straight up the spine. It's a good kick. They find Ollis. Here's the ball now. Halfback flank. So play on, still straight up the ground. Perkins just dropped the mark, got out the back now. Now it's a 2-on-1 or it's a 1-on-1 with Smith. He just gets the ball tapped out of his path by Saller. He did really well in the end there, Saller, and then wins the ball himself. So that's a good win for him. His confidence is going to go down the line now. Bannockburn are out here. They take the mark. They do. Ends up with Mack. So Mack to the middle of the ground. He finds his teammate Marnie. Marnie gives a handball to Jervis. Jervis now, the Hawker on a lead, although he was pulled out of it. But Kelly now has the ball. It's good communication there from those two. Has Patel here. He's not going to use him. He's going to go inside the forward 50. Bit of a nothing
was that
kick in the end.
I think he was waiting for Hawker to continue to run. That's where he's putting the ball to push him into the space.
Heard he took the ball without any contest, and he's going to go out wider. They're going to use a full ground switch, so that wasn't a good kick out the outer side. And it should be a lasso now, unless the ball was touched. It must have been. So he'll have a ball in.
That's fair enough,
far
Smitty.
side of the ground.
That's fair enough, but this is GDFL level. Don't kick it to where he's going to have to run. Kick it to him, which is, I think, you got to do.
Yep. So ball back in now. The shallow throw in. Crombie won the ball out. It's tackled straight away, so he'll have another stoppage.
And I'll tell you what I said a quarter time. They put enough pressure on the kick in. Salah on a genuine one-on-one's a chance.
Spare won that tap out now. East Geelong the ball going forward. Coming through as Crombie couldn't pick up the ball and then tackled his opponent. So he'll have another stoppage near the centre of the ground. Up again now. East Geelong with a lone goal this quarter so far. We've gone 5 minutes in. There's another whistle. It's going to go the way of East Geelong, it looks like it is. So they're going to go quickly to the middle of the ground. They always try to go to the centre. Finds his teammate, Jude Payne. So Payne has numbers out wide. Hawker didn't bother manning up his man here. Going to go forward. Just take their time. All it is. Over the top. Fine. Paddy Bissenson is going to go forward, look for Smith, and he can jump over the top. Smith! No, he couldn't quite. There was a whistle. The umpire said, I thought it might have been an unrealistic attempt. He got up there. He didn't quite time his jump. So,
Yeah, I thought that's fine, though. He went for the mark. He never quite got there.
ball up again now. Experian there. Chin it might have been. Ball tapped towards the boundary line. It might go out. Boundary umpire's right there, and now it does. So 5 minutes gone in this second quarter. 3-1-19 East Geelong to 1-4-10 Bannockburn.
Umpire just getting himself in the right position there. Ball to be thrown back in, half forward line. Again, that's a good throw in. Izzard does the ruck work, brings it down towards his feet. Picked up Bannockburn, clear away, go back towards centre wing. Hawker's in front. Ball gets straight into that contest. He able to keep boot the ball. Ball is nicely done there. Monahan read that nicely.
He
Come out
did.
of the attack then. Got the handball out, but unfortunately missed the target. Now it's in the hands of Hawker. Outside, he goes short, looking towards his teammate out there, and we'll find Wilson. Wilson probably maybe in range if he wants to go there. So Wilson now is going to take it upon himself, I think, to go back. No one comes at him just yet. Mack makes that lead. And we need to turn and come back again now. He's got an opportunity to, but didn't. So Fletcher Wilson's going to have the shot from right on 50. Steps in now and kicks from that distance. It was offline to start with and never going to come back. And through for another minor score. So they move to 1-5 Bannockburn.
Bit disappointing, that one.
3 goals, 1 East Geelong. And we have gone 7 minutes Elders Insurance second quarter.
We do change sponsors a quarter time.
Yeah, no. PNR's next. Ball into the back pocket now. Short kick. Hits a target out there. Martin takes the mark. In front of the club rooms here at East Geelong.
Geez, you mentioned them all day. We have to get more of a quid out of them.
Yes, goes long.
PNR.
Up towards centre wing. Spoil from behind. Ball comes to ground. Perkins overran it, went back towards him, but it's going to be McIntyre that picks the ball up, tries to get the handball out the door, was able to do so in the end, ends up the outside with Nolan, nearly fell over his own feet there. Pressure from behind by Wilson, able to shrug it off. Puts the handballs outside to Monahan. Tries to take him on. Actually, this time Grubby got the good tackle in. Has going to go and try and get the third one. Ball from Steele goes back towards centre wing. Bounces, get out the back, going through. Phillips picks the ball up. He's tackled.
That's a magnificent tackle.
We'll have a throw up, which will take place on centre wing.
He wasn't going anywhere. What a strong tackle.
That's a comb there.
So umpire now with ball, throws it up. Again, over the top. Ball comes out, and it's trying to force his way through with Simons. He's tackled. I don't know again whether he had prior opportunity there. Actually, it wasn't this time. It was Martin that had to try to force his way through. So Marnie of Bannockburn, the recipient of the free kick, right on centre wing.
Harry Crocker.
Goes long, looking towards Hawker once again. Ball at the back, nicely read. The mark taken out there by Brunt. So Brunt at the centre half-back position will transfer play to the clubroom side of the ground. Short kick goes towards centre wing, coming up at the ball, and mark has been taken, so they maintain possession. I reckon that might be Purdy out there. And the ball now kicked towards...
50, no, it's 50, Smithy.
Was that from the player moving on the mark, or...?
Yeah, didn't stand.
All right, so it might be Martin again, actually, I think now. So Martin is with the ball, and he's right inside 50, little chip forward. Izzard coming up at the ball. He takes the mark, and he can go back from a lot easier position than last. And look at his third goal of the afternoon. So Caleb Izzard. We know distance not any problem here. Now, on his last kick, you would think this would probably be straight over the umpire's head again.
Oh, don't say that. You just put the moz on him. He's going to go out in the fall now.
I reckon he's played with a lot of confidence today. This is the most confidence I reckon I've seen him play with. So I'm hoping this ball off the boot. Did lean back on it. And
he's got to be
put the moz on. 3 goals, 2 now East Geelong, 1-5 Bannockburn, and we have gone 9 minutes in this Elders Insurance second quarter.
It's going to be Gorman to kick in for Bannockburn now. Might be a little bit of breeze out there, so I'm going to click the grass up in the air, the old Matty Lloyd style, to see which way it was going. And it's just his routine. So Gorman now from fullback. It's going to go down to Maybaum. He spoiled his own teammate in the end. Not great communication there, and the umpire has picked out a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Bannockburn. So they're hugged up against the boundary, clubroom side of the ground, and then Bannockburn player fell over, couldn't gather the ball, and then it still stays in just. And they get the ball out the far side. Bannockburn's still trying to move the ball forward, and it does go out of bounds eventually. So have a ball in just in front of the East Geelong interchange bench, far side of the ground. By with ball in hand now. Is it back in for the ruck for the time being is Ben Melville. So Sparrow may be having a rest. Umpire says give him a 11 stoppage.
Bannockburn played Bell Post last week, didn't they?
Yep.
I wonder how Gin went against Brock Nada, because he looks as good a ruckman as I've seen Gin for the whole year.
I think Brockharder's a pretty good rucker as well.
I know, but if I was picking from what I've seen him, I'm picking my team of the year. Gin's in my ruck at the moment.
So Cronby now. That's the ball is going to go down the line. Looking for Ezard again. Ezard and Steele there. Steele went to get the front and centre, and then his man won the ball. Then it was handball over the top from Gorman. They're going to turn the ball over again. An up and under kick. If this stays in, it's still the numbers with Bannockburn. Got to try and make him test his Macomb. He does. And then the ball ends up with Henderson. He's going to go to Mayborn. Now figure something out here. Now back to the end. Last line of defence. Smith was there. Salah ends up with the ball. So down the line now, trying to get out of trouble. It got over the head of Walker, and it's going to be a lasso. So, yep. The ball will end up with East Geelong again now.
I'm not sure about that. We saw it last week. You do the switch, there's no one to go to. So why do it?
So inside the forward 50. Smith's there, and also Ezard. It gets over the top of both of them. Henderson was there with the hands, couldn't quite. Ends up somewhere out of that pack. Love another stoppage, 50 metres out from the East Geelong goal. Starting to kick that ball in there. Just a bit more flight on it. So the ball hits the deck now. Ezard in the ruck for East Geelong. Oh, the ball's inside forward 50, and there's a big pack of players. Love another stoppage. So 3-2-20 to 1-5-11. East Geelong leading this one. We've gone 12 minutes in this second quarter. Brought to you by Elders Insurance.
So ball up now to take place. About 30 out from goal. Ezard forces the ball through as he's been intercepted there by Bowden. Goes out wide towards centre wing, leading the race for the ball. Gin, he's tackled, brought to ground quickly. The ball's come out, but he's up in his bout again, picked up and handball over the top there. That was from Melville. High. Again, tackle. Had an option to go around, but was tackled, and Marnie will be the recipient of that free kick. So he's just outside defensive 50, short kick sideways, goes towards Perkins. Umpire's holding to play on, into the hands of Mack. It's able to spin out of the contest now and kick ball through towards centre wing, up in front. Hawker was there and didn't complete the mark. Ball comes to ground. It was tackled late, and I can't see who did what there, but it's going to be a ball up from the umpire. That is on the centre wing clubroom side of the ground. So both ruckmen go at it. This time Melville did nicely, able to fend off. Coming to force his way through was trying to be Mayborn, but it's picked up out there. And a free kick's been given. It's going to go to Mayborn. I'm not too sure what the indication was there. Maybe holding the man, but too far away for me to pick that. Handball goes out wide in the hands now of Edwards into the forward line, but I'm not too sure he was too. Straight into the hand there of Nolan. Not too sure. Nolan goes across the ground over the top of Brunt. Now leading in the race for the ball is Bowden. Got the handball side inside to Wilson. Out the back to Phillips now. Kicks back into the forward line. And the free kick is going to take place. There you go. You can hear that through the...
I know what it was for, but I don't think it's right. You've got to tackle them when they've got the ball trying to kick. I don't think that was late. Can you get that up on a replay, Tyler? And tell us your version?
So Brody Harding is going to be the recipient of this free kick, and he's going to have the ball 40 metres out directly in front. Steps in now, kicks long at goal. And I think that is pretty good by the umpire, just the way he looks straight back over his head and has indicated that has gone straight through. So Brody Harding with a goal. The second now for Bannockburn. They move to 2-5. They trail East Geelong on 3-2. We have gone 15 minutes. Elders Insurance, second quarter.
That's not late.
No,
That
was
is
within the play, wasn't it?
Mind you, we've got now with the technology, we can have another look at it. The umpire doesn't get that. But he has to go. He has to go, that Bannockburn player, to try and tackle him, and that was not late. But they needed that goal so bad that they'll take it either way, I think, because that's only their second goal. Isn't it?
Bannockburn second,
Kicked
yep.
the first goal of the match, and it's been a long time between drinks, and they're still in the game. So
So back in the middle now, Marion back on the ground. The umpires picked out a whistle. It's going the way of East Geelong to hold. So McIntyre. And then he finds his teammate in Melville. So Ben Melville in the middle of the ground, he turns the ball over. Henderson has the ball. Close enough to half back flanked out. So now back for Bannockburn. He's going to come out this side and he turns it over as well. So not great skills in this second quarter here. And then a bit of a throw. They're going to go inside forward 50 here, but as a kick straight down the throat of the East Geelong defender. He's going to go wide up. Going to go full switch to full ground here. Steele couldn't take the mark and then through the hands. And it was a good contest out that other side. Bark was there as well. Now they should go inside forward 50 here. They turn the ball over again now though. Purdy it was. He's got some class. He finds his teammate in Ollis. So Ollis into the middle of the ground. Couldn't find McIntyre. It's all Bannockburn here. Henderson with the good hands over the top. He found his teammate in Bowden and then Bowden into Jerby's. Jerby's trying to take on about 5 players and has to be holding the ball. Umpire it is.
the ball up.
Special comments.
So then McIntyre's going to go through handball, and then they're going to go to the path of Ezard. And it's good contested mark taken in defence. On occasion, it was Bowden. Over the top now. The umpire is he going to play a free kick. He is. So the Bannockburn player, it looks like Rory Harding out on that far side of the ground, just in front of his interchange bench. Looks a little bit sore after that contest. So he's got the ball just between half-back and true centre wing for Bannockburn. He's going to go just down that line to in front of the club rooms towards half-forward. Big fist over the top, and we're going to have a ball in as it goes out of bounds. So the cleanest second quarter, definitely a highly contested game. A lot of skill errors usually happens when the contests are up and the pressure is up. So the ball hits the deck now. Good handball to McIntyre, and then they might figure something out here. It comes to, well, it was Melville. He couldn't get the ball out. Now, still another contest. The umpire says no prior opportunity. Give it to me. So 3-2-20 East Geelong to 2-5-17. We've gone 18 minutes in this second quarter.
Ball from the ruck contest, back towards the boundary line, picked up Jervis, kicks around the body, back towards the half, or for the forward pocket, bouncing in a dangerous position out there. Ball needs to be won, and it's going to be held up. And the East Geelong player, I can't tell you, it was actually Fanning getting up off the ground there, trapped that very nicely. Good view from out there, Grub.
Yep.
Ball now thrown up, goes towards the ruckman in Kelly, but he was tackled pretty much straight as soon as he got the ball there. So it's going to be handed back to the umpire again, still 20 metres out from goal. Kasparian just throws the player out of the contest there. Ball goes back towards the pocket. Ollis is running the ball back towards the boundary line, and he will see it over. And we will have a throw-in, which will take place 10 metres around from the behind post. So still in that attacking pocket there for Bannockburn. Reece Ginn now pushes down to do the ruck work in that area. Thrown back in by the umpire. Ball. The ruckman really got a hand on it, but it's coming worked out of defence there. East Geelong, they kick back towards the middle of the ground. The mark is going to be taken there. Frankie Smith might have been lucky he didn't knock the ball out of
It's nearly 50 anyway.
Yeah, because he had knocked it out, he would have been. It goes across the ground. Mark will be taken out there. Clifton swings back inside. Dangerous kick again, and it's going to be turned over.
Got no one ahead.
Now it's going to be run outside there. They go back towards centre wing, and Smith's got no one in front of him here, so he's just got to hold things up now. Wait for his numbers to go down the ground. He's got one there now. Goes out wide into the hands of Melville if he can pick the ball up. He's got 2-on-1 contest here to be made. Bannockburn with the numbers, they win out. Handball goes out the back door into the hands of Edwards. Across the ground he goes. He's got some teammate out there. They work the ball straight up the ground now. Goes towards Fletcher. Not too sure he was aware it was going to him. Picked up by Nolan. Tried to get the handball out the back. Coming through was Gorman. He was tackled, brought the ground. Crombie's there. And it's going to be a ball which will go back to the umpire. So some hot play there. Neither ruckman's at the contest. Ball hits the ground, picked up. Crombie boots the ball, goes across the ground, out towards Clifton. Mulville picks the ball up. Bananas the ball back towards the goal. Didn't start in the right spot, but it's going to go through for a minor score. And that will be the third for East Geelong. They are 3-3. Bannockburn on 2-5, and we have gone 20 minutes. Elders Insurance, second quarter. Oh, that was out of bounds, was it?
Yeah,
Well,
you
that
would
Must have
have
been
to
in the
say.
end.
I thought that went through for behind then.
You would have to say 20 minutes of pretty ordinary football.
Definitely.
First quarter.
You're right on the
So-
money there, Grub.
Yeah, tell us as it is.
So that might be because the pressure's up, as I said before. The
Well, it
ball's
is.
back in now. Jervy's going to get the clearance. It was a one-on-one. Umpire says play on and a
Oh, that's
shocking kick.
last touch.
And that's where that rule comes in. Probably the old rules would have been paid deliberate anyway. It's going to end up with Monahan.
Yeah, but he didn't mean it.
No, he didn't. That's where the umpire. They brought in a
Yeah, you know he didn't
insufficient.
mean it.
Yeah, exactly. So down the line now, opportunity. Kasparian gets over his head. Not a great kick. Zach
Oh,
Smith
that's off
was
the man.
held. Umpire didn't see it. Ollis now with a snap from 50. There's a bending back. It's
Oh.
not. So
Yeah,
another
that-
minor score.
That puts a different turn on it, doesn't it? You know he's not going to try and kick it out because you're going to get a free kick anyway.
So 3-3-21 to 2-5-17. The ball's back in now. Opportunity. Crombie, he's got the class to kick a goal from there. And he kicked it out of bounds on the full. So 3-2-20, 2-5-17. We've gone 21 and a half minutes. Brought to you by Elders Insurance. And
Well, I thought Benny Crombie's been very, very quiet. And I was just about to say so about 4 minutes ago, and he's had 4 touches in 4 minutes. So that's what they need him to do.
exactly right. So Bannockburn from the last line of defence now. Going to go up to half back. Clubroom side of the ground. There's going to be another stoppage. I just saw before, though, as soon as Zach Smith came up and got the ball, he had nothing further afield for him. So he's going to make sure he's holding his space as well. Ball up again now. Losing that tap on that occasion. Kelly won that against Kasparian. Now inside 450. Here's an opportunity. Oh, that was good mark and good use of the body on that occasion from Cooper Edwards.
I don't understand that at all, Archie, at all. If he makes some space, comes up the ground, you got 2 big blokes who can play football in Steele and the other bloke and Evan to come down there. It's hard to come down there.
Yeah, he was playing the deepest forward. That was the problem, though. So they should keep those 2 back. You'd probably keep Steele and
You got 2 of
Ezard
them.
further back. Yeah, you're right.
As soon as Smith comes up, you got the other 2 back there. If those 3 fire, backlines are going to struggle.
So Kasparian went down now, and then now they're going to go forward. It's a bit of a grubber kick for Tali. He's got some class, though. He couldn't pick up the ball. Now McIntyre involved. They're going to go out wide. Yeah, good up the middle of the ground. Here's an opportunity for East Geelong. They're going inside forward. It's a horrendous kick, it must be said, and it's turned over. The ball ends up with Gilman. So he's going to go to Hawker. A little bit too much on the kick, but it was good contested mark taken from Hawker. And he's going to take on his man. He's sold himself in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to go back inboard to Mayborn. He's going to kick forward. Henderson's going to beat a couple. He gathers the ball, and then he loses it. Monahan couldn't get the ball, and then it's going to be wrapped up in a stoppage just in front of us. So 3-3-21 and 2-5-17. We've gone 23 minutes in this second quarter, brought to you by Elders Insurance.
I think it's Gorman.
Ball for the ruck contest this time. Gin up over the top, comes out. Oh, wait, it'll be a little high.
No.
I said no. Okay.
He threw the head back, but I reckon it was around the upper chest.
Yeah,
Give him
that-
that.
This
Give him that.
was there and Beardle the tackler. So again, Kasparian doing the ruck work. Gin. Okay, Ruckman goes to get a ball, hand on it. Vicenden picks the ball up. A little bit of time now. Handball's back inside. That was okay. Hasminari. Handball goes back outside to McIntyre. Got a running player outside. Nice kick over the top. Payne takes the mark. So he's still just attacking side of centre of the ground, and he goes out wide. Watch Smith again. Ball gets over the back, runs back towards the boundary line. And Edwards decides he'll keep it in. No, he doesn't. Walked over the line, and we will have a throw in. Inside forward 50.
Bannockburn has worked that out. When Smith is in a one-on-one, he always pushes his or edges his opponent out and runs back. Bannockburn have got that bloke behind, and that stops that. So they've got that intact.
So the ball now back in by the umpire once again. Ruck contest. Mulville was in there. Umpire said it's been held up long enough. He wants it back. 30 out from goal. East Geelong's goal. Bowden this time taps the ball down. Again, picked up out there. Gorman's been good again. Goes back into the middle of the ground towards Henderson. He didn't trap the ball. Vicenden didn't either. Kicked off the ground there by Jen into the forward line. Kelly in space by himself over the top. Into the hands of Battaglia. Battaglia can go to Hawker and he can run right to the goal line. Takes a bounce, waltzes in and kicks his first goal of the afternoon. And the third now for Bannockburn. They move to 3-5. They take the lead. East Geelong on 3-3. And we have gone 25 minutes in this Elders Insurance second quarter.
Well, that's football, isn't it? You get 20 minutes of absolute, not rubbish football, but pressure, mistakes, everything, and then you see a beautiful bit of play like that, and you can see it building because they never stayed back on Kelly. They went up the ground and left him, and once there was always one bloke running past, and beautiful football. We need to see more of that because it's been so pressure and so intense.
So back in the middle now. Sparing. Jin won the tap over the top now. Now, Mayborn was there, got it to Battaglia, couldn't quite cover the ball, but did well enough to get it back to Mayborn. Then a handball forward, winning the ball on that occasion, trying to get it through. Marnie. He couldn't quite get the ball out. We'll have a stoppage just forward of, so now forward now. Sparing gets the ball over the top, and then a kick forward for Bannockburn. That's going to be a grubber inside the forward 50. Hawker was there. Can he gather the ball? It's one out by East Geelong that might be coming back. It's a good kick down that line. Now, good contest. Even numbers out in the wing. McIntyre, he's been everywhere today. He's most of the games he plays. Now down the line again, East Geelong to Ezard. Everything's a bit hard for them at the moment, East Geelong. It's the ball forward. Occasion Edwards had the ball out. He's going to send Bannockburn forward. Hawker with a big jump over the top. He couldn't quite bring the ball down, though. Ends up over the top with Marnie. He's going to have a snap back. It was Battaglia, I think. And then a good mark taken from Kelly. Coming out of full forward. It was well done from Rory Harding to protect the space. Haley Kelly now is going to have an opportunity to go back and kick his second goal.
It's had a pretty good 5 minutes, Bailey Kelly.
So after quite a lot of dominance after the 10-minute mark of the first quarter, Bannockburn want to extend their lead here. Bailey Kelly goes back, makes a goal umpire work, but kicks the goal on the halftime siren as well. So some good momentum going into halftime for Bannockburn. 3-3-21 to 4-5-29 now. That quarter went for 27 minutes, brought to you by Elders Insurance.
Before we go, Smithy, Inver League 41, Winchelsea 52. Belmont 37, Werribee 57, Belpost 56, North 21, Corio 41, Anakie 34, the Giant 23, Thompson 51.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, come back. Second quarter is being completed, as we said. It's 3-3 here, East Geelong home side. They trail Bannockburn, who are 4 goals 5. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. It's East Geelong 3-3. Goal kickers Ezard with 2, Zach Smith with 1, and Bannockburn 4 goals 5. Hold a slight margin there. Bailey Kelly with 2, Brody Harding and Henry Hawker each with 1, and the umpire is not too far away from starting third quarter here. As we said, it's a 3-point margin out at Inverleigh, with Inverleigh now leading by that 3 points. Werribee about 21 points up on Belmont Lions. Belpost Hill up by 34 points, a bit of a surprise. And a goal in it out at Anakie. The players started here, ruck contest, ball comes out, goes to Mayborn, but he is tackled almost immediately, and the ball up will take place once again. So middle of the ground, this time Gin up over the top, ball running back towards their half-forward line, coming out was Harding. Ball that now be one, Ollis was there, it comes out, Hamani tried to get the handball through. Unfortunately, it's been to be cleared up again. Harding went back and got it. Went inside to Mac. Mac short pass back to Harding. Harding round the body. Goes towards goal. Will it have enough? No, it lands in the goal square. Good spoil there. Some good defensive work. Picked up by Fanning. Goes out wide towards the half-back line. Hits, runs towards the boundary line. Phillips leads in the race for the ball. As he picked it up, he is tackled and brought to ground. Umpire, no choice there but to ball it up.
Congratulations on a magnificent half-time spread from East Geelong Footy Club. Thank you very much.
There was still more than I left when the grub. There's still plenty to go. So, yes, ball from that ruck contest. Monaghan did that nicely. Actually, it was Crombie that got the ball out. They run forward now through Hoff into their half-forward line. Good kick. Ball smothered there from Bath. Comes back to the front of the contest. Hoff followed up but ran past it. It was Edwards that came through and picked the ball up. Phillips just fed the ball forward. Goes back, picked up by Kasparian. Wants to get on the right side. Got the handball back to Hoff once again. Heavily involved early in this third quarter, out to Crombie, along the boundary line, a little bit too much width there, over the boundary line on the full free kick going to Perkins. So he wants to play on now. He stepped back inside. He's got a short option. He will use him, and that is Bowden. So Bowden goes back to Perkins. They run across the goals here. They go out longer this time over the head of Mack. Kick was poor. Unfortunately, the mark wasn't taken out there by Zimmer, but he's had to go back. Little chip up over the top. I'll tell you what, there's plenty of players standing around, but the only player that was standing there was Minari, and he took the mark. So Minari now kicks the ball, goes in forward. Kicking skills haven't improved in the second half, and it's going over the top there. Smithy in space by himself. Sideways kick. It's going to end up there with Gorman. So he's got the ball on the half-back line for Bannockburn. And will now drive the ball towards centre wing. Coming up as Harding in front. Took the mark on his chest, did nicely. Has a player running there, but he's just decided to steady things down. Wants to go a little bit longer. Kick wasn't great off the booth. Gets over the top. Went through. He's going to hit the ground. Max there. Ollis is also there. Picked up the handball outside the Crombie. Across the ground they go. Player in space. They're going to maintain possession now. So East Geelong on the half-back line. Goes outside with Payne. Goes towards Sinning. That's a better kick. Over the top. Hoff in space once again. Plays on into the forward line. Smith out in the lead. Picks the ball up. Oh, he's quick to put boot to ball, but unfortunately I think it's gone straight up and it's gone over the boundary line. No, it's still in the field of play. Now it has gone over the boundary line right beside the behind post. We'll have a throw in. So we've gone just on 3 minutes in this third quarter.
Pretty tricky bit of play to kick it that high and not be out in the full from there.
3-3. East Geelong remain on that score, and Bannockburn again 4 goals 5. PNR Foods third quarter.
Ball is back in play now. Ezard is going to grab it out of the ruck, give it to McIntyre. He tries to get the handball out. He just does, although might be coming back. Edwards in there as well, trying to defend. Then over the top from Ezard. They're going to have a shot on goal, and it's going to go through.
Hoff.
Brilliant roving. And Hoff picks the goal. It's the one that East Geelong needed to wrestle that momentum back. 4-3-27 now to 4-5-29. They trail by 2 points in. We've got 3 minutes in this third quarter, brought to you by PNR Foods.
They just couldn't get it out, could they? I reckon they had 3 or 4 handballs in their Bannockburn and went straight to an East player. But then East player handballed it back to them. So once you can't get it out there, it's inevitable that sooner or later it's going to fall into the wrong hands for the Tigers. And they were just good enough to kick the goal. And needed it too, because I just thought they'd been the better side, and yet they weren't leading. And they're probably still not leading, but I don't know. The third quarter's, the disposals, it's bloody shocking.
Yeah, not clean for 2 good sides, you wouldn't think. So ball, ruck contest, and it's going to be brought out by East Geelong and McIntyre.
So ball, handball over the top now. Some Aaron handball is going to be gathered on that occasion by Crombie, and then it's going to go back to McIntyre. McIntyre now hugged up on the boundary line. It's a good kick on that occasion. It was. Now they're going to go back inside, and it's going to be turned over. So Harding has the ball. Brody variety. He's going to go down that line looking for Henry Hawker. He's got a genuine one-on-one. What kick didn't favour him. McIntyre's there. He has been all day. He gets the ball out to Monaghan. He couldn't quite. Now an opportunity. Might be Henderson to straighten and just miss.
Needed that.
Jack Henderson had more time than he probably thought. He registers Bannockburn's first score of this quarter. 4-3-27 now to 4-6-30. It's a 3-point margin. 4.5 minutes gone.
Tell you what, if he kicked for goal, like I just saw Hendo hopping into those pies in there, that was straight through the middle.
So there we go from fullback now. Arthur Kasparian, he went up with one hand. Probably should have gone two. Won the ball anyhow. It was a good smother coming back the other way by Perkins, and the ball is going to run over the boundary line. So we'll have a ball in between halfback and true centre wing. The umpire has the ball now. Kasparian and Jin, as will be for the majority of the day. Kasparian got the ball down. And the ball out on that occasion. Mr. Marnie.
Look tired of me from here.
Has blown his whistle. So it's going to go over Phillips.
You got that right.
Phillips has the ball. There's a couple of leads. One of them's Harding. He's going to go in that direction. Hawker's there as well. The mark juggled and taken.
You would have loved to see him go back and put this right through the middle. Just like Ezard did from when he was up in the forward line for East Geelong in that last quarter. You'd love to see Hawker at least match that with a beautiful kick. Because his marking's been fantastic.
Yeah.
His kicking hasn't quite been as good.
It was funny. He was on him. He's had the job most of the day.
Who's, by the way, a very, very good centre-half back. Don't worry about that.
He got him on the first. Got his hand in there, but then it was good enough, Henry Hawker, to get it on the second grab. So now from right on 50, Henry Hawker, the first goal of the second half. He celebrates early. He's kicked the goal. 4-3-27 to 5-6-36 now. Bannockburn stretch away again. 6.5 minutes to go on in this quarter, brought to you by Peanut Foods.
I'll tell you how things are judged, Archie, and how much is a matter of interest. It's been a good contest between those two blokes, right? You can have a contest between a centre-half back and a centre-half forward all day. You're not quite sure who's the best. If the centre-half forward kicks straight and kicks four, he wins. But if he doesn't and kicks 1-3, then the centre-half back wins, even though the contest has been the same. And that's where Hawker now has to kick more goals than points when he plays on these good players. And that was a beautiful kick, and hopefully that's the start.
Yep, so we're back in the middle once again. Kasparian and also Gin, both ruckman. Kasparian got the second go at it. Little tap forward, ends up with Mayborn. He picked the ball up, goes round the body, kicks back towards the half-forward line. Phillips is out in front. Ball comes to ground, did well, and that was Fessington. Umpire's seen it the same way. A free kick will go to Phillips, and he's on centre wing. So he's got the ball now and looking further afield. He's going to go in short towards Battaglia. Again, not too sure. The longer option would have been better there.
Kick that.
Umpire's going to be awarding a free kick. And it's going to go to Tristan Battaglia. So his kick goes forward and quickly into the towards Kelly. Kelly trapped the ball, got the handball out. Unfortunately for Bannockburn, Bissenden was there, read that nicely, tackled as he picked the ball up and brought to ground. Umpire will come in and take a possession of it. 30 out from goal. Bannockburn's goal. Another opportunity here for them. Kelly doing the ruck work. Ball from that contest, tapped forward. Can't see who it is. There's a number of players in my line here, so I know the tackle was by Jervis. On which player, I can't tell you. And then with that sun glowing on that car there, it's made it even harder.
He's going to bounce it anyway.
Yeah, no, so it's a ball up to take place. It comes out the back. Coming through East Geelong with some numbers there at the contest. Tap further forward, goes back to Kasparian, puts boot the ball. Goes towards the boundary line. Steele leads in the race for the ball. Good mark. Takes it and can settle things down for East Geelong. Inside defensive 50. Decides to go back and across goal. Dangerous because got a hand on the ball. Went back after it. Got the handball back inside to Maybaum. Had plenty of time. Unfortunately didn't steady. And he has put that out of bounds on the full. Missed everything.
Well, you want to breathe a huge sigh of relief, Steele. Because that was too dangerous for him.
Yeah, too long, that one.
Oh, yeah. I don't know at this level of footy. In a close, tight game, go down the line and be
It's
safe.
got to be a rule of thumb. If it's inside the middle of the goal, running straight down the ground, you just don't go there.
No, no.
Got to get outside that zone.
Too many mistakes doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So ball brought back in quickly there by Purdy. That's a nice kick out of defence, goes towards centre wing, picked up. They've got some numbers out there. East Geelong again, they're going to win possession of it. Needs to get the handball going forward. Umpires let things go. Picked up Bannockburn. I think that's picked up out there by Gin once again. He got the handball through the contest, and with the numbers, it needs to be cleared out of there. It's going to come out eventually. Boot to ball is required, and that's what's happened. Ball goes quickly to the forward line. Hawker out in front. Didn't complete the mark. Picked up. Good defence there from East Geelong. They've been able to keep that along through the front. Ball goes back to the goal square, and it's going to be kicked out wide once again by Purdy. His kick was wide.
How far out did that go?
It must have been out of bounds
Yeah.
ball, because it was definitely not outside 50, so it's got to be on the full, and free kick to Bannockburn. Is it Kelly out there?
Gee, that's a long way away, Smithy.
Well, it's for me too, Grub.
For your, hey, you must be nearly 64, wouldn't you?
Don't you worry about that. Ball from the kick is a little bit short. Hit the goal post and through for a minor point. I'm going to give it to Bailey Kelly. I'm not too sure who that was out there, but 4-5-7 now to Bannockburn and 4-3 East Geelong. And we have gone about 9, 12, 11 minutes. Is that right? 11 minutes?
10.5 minutes.
Yep.
So ball is kicked out of defence now. The skills have not gotten much better this quarter. Just means the pressure's up. Minari has the ball on the half-back flank for East Geelong. He looks down the line. He's going to go in that direction, try and find his teammate. It's a good mark. Oh, no. The umpire said he didn't hold it long enough. It was Martin who had hands on the ball, and then it got punched over the boundary line. So we'll have a stoppage in between the two interchange benches on the clubroom side of the ground. So 4-3, 27 to 5, 7, 37, 10-point margin early in this third quarter. Oh, coming back in now in the ruck for the time being is Ben Melville for East Geelong. Up and under kick now. Who can get under that? Ollis is there, and then Ben Melville went through his hands. Then Ollis comes through, gives the hands back to Payne. Payne gets his kick smothered off the boot, and we'll have a stoppage just in front of the East Geelong interchange bench. So very high pressure game of football. Expect that between two clubs that will be there in the pointing end of the season. We expect to be. So coming through now, East Geelong win the clearance, and they're going to go forward with a kick that is very errant, and we are going to have a turnover. It's going to go the way of Bannockburn. So far side of the ground. Who's going to wing? Just going to gather the ball. It's going to end up in the hands of Beardsall. So Beardsall's going to go forward now. Opportunity goes through the hands. Might have been McIntyre who dropped that mark. Now Bannockburn have some time and space. Rory Harding couldn't quite go that one. Now Payne with some class. He gets his kick smothered though. Now still ball in congestion coming out. Rory Harding there still battling hard. Now they win the ball. East Geelong have got an opportunity here. Steele, he can gather the ball. He put the Jets on. He does. He decides to arch his back and take the game on. He takes 2 bounces. He might have a third. He might steady. Oh, no. It's not a great kick. Zach Smith gathers the ball now. And, he should have gone for the goal. He had all the momentum. He put the Jets on. He burns off of his opponent.
He's going too quick for the big
guy. Yeah,
it's the
take a steady pace.
Most exciting thing we've seen today. And Zach Smith couldn't handle the ball too cleanly. So we're back in East Geelong's forward 50 now. Ezard gets the ball down, and then McIntyre there as well. He couldn't quite, and then a good tackle laid. So we'll have a stoppage inside forward 50 East Geelong. We've got 4-3, 27, 5, 7, 37. We've got 13 minutes in this third quarter.
So Bruck contest once again inside forward 50 for East Geelong. And again, numbers around the contest. Went through the hands of McComb there, got the handball out the back. Good strong tackle there from Bannockburn. The ball stepped alive though. Hoff puts boot to ball, kicks smothered off the boot. Marty just again does the same thing. Ball goes back in the middle of the ground, picked up, cleaned away by Purdy. Handball goes back over the top. Mayborn, actually it was Bowden that came through the contest, didn't pick the ball up. Again, kicked off the ground. East Geelong are going to bring it back, this time through Simons. Goes back towards Ezard at centre half forward. Spoil was made. Ball comes back to ground. Running through a number of players' hands here, but it's still clean. He tried to get boot to ball, tackled by Jen, and that was nicely done, and he wins the free kick. So Reece Gin now is a player outside and used the ball very nicely. Goes outside and finds Clifton. So he's now looking to deliver the ball along the boundary line, coming up at him. Bowden couldn't take the mark.
Jeez.
Has to go back and get it. Does so. And he has been held up out there. And that was by Mulville Ben.
We've been around,
Raised the tackle.
been around a little bit too long to drop sitters like that. We should have taken that.
A lot of easy stuff being today. Short
All
kick,
day, everyone, yeah.
marks. Yep. This time Gin, front position, taps the ball forward, goes towards Marnie. Taken off to there by Mulville. He's tackled, brought to ground. And again, no prior opportunity there. Good tackle.
Just a bit of news, so it looks like Daniel Freeman suspected broken leg.
Oh,
Now suspected, so let's hope it's not.
yeah, no. Don't need that, mate, at any stage of your career. Ball now from that ruck contest, picked up again. Minari got the handball back to Mulville. And again, Marnie tackles Mulville and brings him to ground. So they've been able to push the ball forward 20 metres further down towards their attacking end. Again, a ruck contest. This time they try to sweep the ball out the back, cleared away. Hop it was, goes into their half-forward line. Leading the race with the ball was McComb, picked the ball up cleanly. His kick going towards Smith wasn't great. Smith able to turn his defender around, kicks back towards goal. Umpire looks and says, that's goal. Straight over his head and through for Zach Smith second. And East Geelong now, 5-3, trailing Bannockburn 5-7. And we have gone about 16 minutes in this PNR Foods third quarter.
I don't believe that. I mean, that's how he kicks his goals, right? And the defender charges out at 100 miles an hour. What do you do, Smithy? You let him get the football. You let Zach Smith get the football. You run at him at half to three-quarter pace,
Yep.
and you stop him from kicking it. But what happens if you run there, and he's brilliant at it, he just turns the hand on it a little bit, you run past it, he kicks the goal, he's done it all his career. If you're going to plant him, you've got to study and study and study that, and he should never, ever have let him kick that goal the way he did.
Yeah, play him on the back of his left
Yep.
shoulder or right shoulder.
Yep.
So back in the middle now. Brings up Zach Smith's 30th goal of the year. So quick hands now, some momentum. Going forward, Kasparian. Now inside the forward 50. Ball hits the deck. Opportunity, hands over the top. Might have been McComb. And then coming through, good hands from Bannockburn. There's some silky play involved there with Beardsall as well. And a run-down tackle. It was unreal from Jeremy Ollis.
I don't think there was much talk there.
It wasn't at all. He came out of nowhere. So now, kicks to Galen Minari. Side the forward 50. Ezard, yes! And is a push late? No. But we will have a shot. Well, Ezard will have a shot from 45 metres out. Is this for his third goal, Smithy?
Yes.
So he kicks this, it'll be his third. And we won't put the moz on him like he did last time.
You're doing the call, you call it.
So
Oh, no, don't do that.
So he's had 4 or 3 shots at goal so far. 2 of them have looked pretty good. Distance hasn't been a worry in any of his shots so far. He's going to go the short kick to Zach Smith. Don't fall asleep on Zach Smith in the pocket. He led up 3 or 4 times. He was still looking for him. Aaron Saller may have just fallen asleep. Zach Smith's going to have an opportunity to kick his third goal. Kick the last. So put him back in front. Got 30 this year. Comes in now. And always to the near side. You'd back him to kick those. 5-4-34 to 5-7-37. Important miss in this game. 18 minutes gone in this third quarter. Brought to you by PNR Foods.
Gorman short for the back pocket. Has Mack. Goes back for the handball. Gets it back in now. Gorman now kicks back towards centre wing. Hawker's the target. Ball gets over the top. And is it out of bounds? And there's given the old lasso. Free kick going back towards East Geelong. So East Geelong with the ball. And it's going to be in the hands of Simons here. So he's going to go a little bit longer into their forward line. Numbers with Bell Park. Mack didn't take the mark. Ball gets through the back of the contest. Picked up out there again. Gorman comes out of defence. Kicked back inside. Mark taken well by Harding. Got the handball off. Missed his teammate. Went past the ball. Picked off the ground there by Henderson. Towards Battaglia. Ground level. Ball picked up. Monaghan tried to get the ball out to Crombie. He's tackled. Brought to ground. Umpire with no other choice here but to ball it up in the middle of the ground.
I'm thinking Monday week. Next Monday week. How close am I?
Pretty close. Ball from that ruck contest comes out. Patalia, ball now with the hands there of Minari. Get the first bit all right. Went and got the ball. Tried to get it the second time. Henderson's there, also putting some pressure on, and it's going to be handed back to the umpire once again. So pretty much in the middle of the ground.
Took me a while to work that out.
Had to get the calendar out, mate, did you? So the ball now thrown up. Kasparian got the ball out this time. Goes towards Henderson. He's tackled.
No, no.
Not too sure whether he had prior.
He had none at all.
He did duck, and that was the only thing he did. He did try to duck and get through the contest. So
Oh,
now in the hands of Benny Crombie now. And he's going to go straight down the middle of the ground. Why wouldn't you? Hazard's the target in front. Gorman. He nearly took it on his chest, picked up. Kick wasn't clean contact. They try to push the ball forward into the hands now of Power. Goes towards Smith. Wants to go one way. Got back on the other side now. Kicks towards goal. Oh, and I think he missed. He has missed again. Well, you wouldn't put that on him. And I didn't even say anything that time. So 5-5 now. And that sees Bannockburn at 5-7. 2
he
points
shouldn't
of
have had
margin.
the ball. The other bloke should have kicked the goal.
So it's brought out now to Clifton, and he looks to go back into the middle of the ground. Coming up, Gin gets over the top, goes towards Brunt. Does trap the ball. Hawkins stands in his road. Was tackled without the ball.
He definitely was.
Yeah, he was. He's got some numbers running forward now, so he just needs to go long. He's got Harding the longest option there, but he goes across the ground. That kick wasn't great. It might work because he found Rory Harding this time, and he is inside 50. Now, has Rory got it in him? I'm not too sure.
No, I don't think so.
He's got some teammates outside that wanted to give him the
I
ball.
reckon he has.
So now he plays on. His kick smothered off the boot, so it's going to be into their forward line. Again, coming across. Crombie back doing some defensive work. His kick goes wide. He wants that to stay inside the forward 50. It hasn't.
It's given deliberate.
And, well, it's got to be, it's outside the 50. I think it's outside the arc. I reckon just. Maybe. Can't see it on the replay, but we probably could.
Well, he's standing outside there now.
Yep. So the kick comes in. Good kick. Gets through the contest. Picked up. Harding off a step. Goes back towards goal. I tell you what, that has gone straight through. Brody Harding gets his second of the afternoon, and the 6 now for Bannockburn. They're 6-7. They lead East Geelong on 5-5. And we have gone 22 minutes. Penal Foods third quarter.
Well, the luck's a fortune there. A couple of shocking kicks went the right way. That must have been just outside the 50. I don't think he did play deliberate. But in the end, a beautiful, what do they South Australians call it? The check side.
Banana.
Well, I call it a check side just because of that. And a huge contender for the Connectel. Yes, that's right. Connectel, goal of the day.
Looking back at that replay as well, it did land inside the 50 of the umpire paid deliberate. So
Oh, did he?
execution of 10. So yeah, you just can't
Tough.
win as a defender, can you?
No, it's taken everything away from the poor buggers, I tell you.
Back in the middle, Kasparian. Come off his head, I reckon. Now coming through is Mayborn. We probably took on one too many. Umpire's going to say holding the ball. So Crombie with the tackle. Be careful he doesn't give away 50 there. So Crombie now.
Oh, careful.
Path. Not a great kick, though the sun was right in their eyes. Ezard, he's going to take on one, take on two. He's going to hook sideways. Goes back now. It's Payne to the pocket. Going to figure something out here, East Geelong. So just in front of the club rooms. They're 50 metres out into the path of Ezard. Good lead, a good mark. And Perkins had no chance with a kick like that. Very smart play from East Geelong. Just waited for the right option. It might have been inside 50. Darling McCombs played a pretty good game so far. So now Ezard. He's going to have a shot. He's kicked 3. Is that right, Smithy? Or 2?
Ezard's got 2 so far.
2. So Bruce 30. Passed the last one off to Smith, who missed it. So go back from 45 metres. Off the boot. Never looked any good. And it's out of bounds on the full. Hits the behind post. So just another opportunity going, reckoning for East Geelong. So now Bannockburn just going to take their time out of defence. Go down that line. A good mark taken by Brody Harding, and his confidence is rising by the moment. He handballs to Perkins, and then Perkins on to Rory Harding. Rory Harding gets run down as he kicked it in the path of Hawker. Oh, it was nearly a defensive mark, and it should be. Umpire says no. Monahan still wins the ball anyway. He's going to handball back. Now McIntyre. Oh, he had a fumble. We don't say that too often. Gets the handball out now to Brunt. Brunt's going to be clean. He is. He goes out wider. Now an opportunity it was for Zimmer. Zimmer against the boundary line. Now also involved there is Payne. Bannockburn interchange bench is appealing and the ball ends up over the boundary line. So we'll have a ball in between halfback and true centre wing for East Geelong. So in now, Sparian gets the ball down, although the clearance is won by Bannockburn. Here comes Hawker! Oh. The Hawk soars and flies over the pack.
He's got a great pair of hands.
And he's going to go back from the pocket to extend this lead. Currently an 8-point margin. He kicks this, it'll be 14, going close to three-quarter time. And how many has he kicked today, Smithy?
He's got 2-2 for the day.
2-2. And it's one thing, if you're going to critique him on anything, it's going to be the fact that both games we've watched him has missed some opportunities. So from the pocket now, he's going to go the conventional drop punt.
Thank God.
From 30 metres out. We'll be able to tell by his reaction. And he's missed. So after all that, this is the goal. 5-5-35 East Geelong. They are trailing Bannockburn 6-8-44. We've gone 25 minutes in this third quarter, brought to you by Peanut Foods.
So it's with the defence now. So East Geelong with some work to do to bring it out. Options look like to the far side. Visitton goes short. Teammate in the back pocket. Possibly Purdy out there. Kicks long around the boundary. Wasn't a great kick off the boot. Ball's going to bounce. Gin tries to tap it further to field. Goes to the hands there of Phillips. And umpire said high.
Yeah, I saw it.
So Ashton Phillips now has just got the ball just outside there, forward 50. Goes inside. Good looking kick. And mark has been taken. Kelly comes up just over the hands of McIntyre there. So that was some good work there.
You reckon it might be in the right hands this time, Smithy?
I reckon he's a chance there, Grubb.
Don't say any more.
No, I'm not going to. Well, you can call it if you like. You've got a good vision from there.
No, I'm back.
So Bailey Kelly has done pretty nicely today. Has two, and he has three because the umpire is standing very, very still. His third of the afternoon, the seventh now for Bannockburn. They are 7-8. They lead East Geelong on 5-5. And we have gone about 17 minutes in this PNR Foods third quarter.
And that's maybe the way the game comes out. Whoever takes their opportunities for the rest of this game, because East Geelong probably should have hit the front. You would have thought they would have. They missed a couple, and then Bannockburn missed one to put them further in front. But Bailey Kelly, he kicked the ball nicely today.
He has.
He's actually, I think he's matured. But I think he's a very, very good player, Bailey Kelly.
A couple of good options up forward.
I look at Steele, Ezard, and Smith. If they fire on the one day, there's probably not a defence that can hold them.
No.
Right? And maybe they're keeping that for St. Albans. Hopefully that was from in St. Albans.
So ball back out, even ruck contest. Jervy's got it forward off the ground now, coming through. Good handball to Experian, and then back to Payne. It is. He's going to go forward in the path of Ezard. Ezard, good contest forward, and Steele. He's just lost his man for the moment. He came forward. It was Tom Barth who's had a pretty
So what's that?
shot.
It's the umpire's call to throw in.
And he has.
Ezard just thinking the 6-3 kick.
He might have been appealing for the.
I think it came off his
exhibition
knee
attempt,
anyway.
Yeah. So Tom Barth has done a pretty good job on Andrew Steele today. He's had minimal impact on the game. Except that dashing run in front of us here earlier. The ball comes back. Good fist forward on that occasion from Ezard. Then a good sidestep from Perkins. Against the Henderson going forward, though it's all East Geelong here. We're going to find an option inside 40. Here's an opportunity for Steele. Going to keep it in. Steele on the boundary as the siren goes for three-quarter time. The score is going to three-quarter time. 5-5-35. East Geelong are trailing Bannockburn 7-8-50. I need their best effort to get over the line in this last quarter. Joel, for you, Smithy.
Yes, to this stage of the game, Smith and Ezard both with two, Hoff with one, and for Bannockburn, 3 to Kelly, 2 each to Harding, and that's Brody and Hawker. That's their 7, so they hold a Couple of goal lead going into the 3/4 time break. We'll take a short break, come back, final quarter not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Right. And not a game we probably would thought with the conditions that scoring would have been a little bit better, but unfortunately it's a high pressure game. We're not out there, so we don't know what it's like. But someone has to stand up in this last quarter and take control of it, Grub. And not too sure which side it's going to be.
Yeah, well, it can be either side because I think there's not much between them. I think Bannockburn's probably taken their opportunities a little bit more than East, although they haven't kicked straight either. They've probably had a few more, but the way the game's going, I just thought East got a bit of momentum about the halfway mark, and both times they went in, it came straight back out again, and they missed two. Now, you take them opportunities, and they could be in front by now. And yet Bannockburn, they did the same. They missed a couple, but they, Bailey Smith straightened them up. Bailey Kelly, sorry, straightened them up a bit. And I don't know. It's so hard to pick. I still think if East Geelong stick to what they know best, I think they can still win this game. But Bannockburn, they're not letting go much either. Look, both sides are giving it all, but it is a terrible game to watch. And I know you don't like to say that about games, but you got to say it as it is. It's a terrible game to watch. And I know there's a lot of pressure around, and maybe they call it perceived pressure. I don't know, but there's so many people come in under no pressure and put it straight down the throat of the opposition. It's happened too often, and I think the side that does the less of that in the last quarter will get up and win the game.
Yeah, Arch, have you got anything to add to that one? Or
Yeah, no, I think that so far, Bannockburn, when they've had the momentum go with them, it's been a game of swings and roundabouts of momentum when they've had the momentum, they've capitalised on the scoreboard. And I don't think East Geelong have. I mean, Zach Smith had 2 opportunities in that quarter that you nearly put him in the book before he kicked him, that he missed. And I don't know, question for you, both you, and especially you, Grub. Do you think they're looking for Zach Smith and I don't know, maybe Ezard as well, but especially Smith too much and too often? Because
Yep.
like the Ollis was out clear 30 metres, could have run and kicked the goal. And
Well, that's the one I said.
and for some reason he lowered his eyes trying to find Smith, and Smith nearly did kick the goal, but he could have kicked it himself. It's
But-
like they're looking for him every time.
Look, if you're 50 odd out and you know you can't make the distance, you lower your eyes. But you're allowed to have a shot for goal no matter who you're playing with. And that one that Smith actually missed, he said, how did he miss? Well, as I said during the call, he shouldn't have had the football. The bloke coming in should have went bang and kicked the goal. And it doesn't matter whether it's Zach Smith, Billy Bloggs, whoever you want. If a bloke's if you're in the best position to kick a goal, kick the bloody goal. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if Smith kicks 180 or 20. The whole team has got to kick the goals to win the game. And I just think, yes, you're right. They do look a little bit for him too much. And sometimes the opposition are aware of that.
scores from around the ground. Winchelsea 85, lead Inverleigh 74. Belmont Lions 45, trail Werribee Central's 97. Bellpost Hill 73, lead North Geelong 49. Corio 62, trail Anakie 81. And Thompson 76, lead Geelong West 28. So a couple of games may be over there, but there's still a few up for call and one right here this afternoon. Final quarter is just about to start here this afternoon, and it's going to be a ruck contest. Gin over the top gets the ball down. And it was trying to be brought out there by Mayborn. Got the handball. No, I don't even think it was a handball. Probably could have been dropping the ball, but it runs forward now. Running onto the ball is Payne. Takes a little side step, steps back inside, missed his target. Mayborn follows up, got the handball back outside. And it's going to be going back towards the middle of the ground. It's coming through. Kasperi and Hiwi overran the ball. And again, it must be just hard to control because we sit up here and we think it's not too bad. But player now through Jervis delivers the ball, goes in long out towards Kelly. He's out in front, positions his body nicely. Good spoil from behind. Ball comes to ground. Tapped over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in which will take place forward pocket area for Bannockburn, who go quickly into attack.
He's a bit lucky there, I reckon. He got that tap. When you see the arm move, he could well have played deliberate if he wasn't careful. But they didn't, and I'm glad they didn't because they've done a pretty good job, the umps. It's been a hard game to umpire in, close and tough, and they've handled it very, very well.
Ball thrown in by the umpire, I should say. Picked up by Kelly, tried to kick it out of the ruck. He couldn't do that successfully. Player tackle, brought to ground. And it was going to be a ball up again. Just similar position to the last throw in there. Goes Ruckman this time. Kelly taps the ball out the back, goes to Mayborn. Kick was smothered off the boot, goes through. Marnie had it, lost it, goes to the boundary line, picked up out there by Crombie. Tried to get round 1 or 2, lost the ball. Again, Marnie picks the ball up, dribbles along the boundary line, and Purdy steps over and will be another throw in to take place. 20 around from the behind post.
I did give him a pep talk at half time, the umps.
Did you?
And I told him, Steve Keaton told me last night, you're the 3 best we've got. Now show us it. And they have.
So that's cool. He's thrown back in this time again. Kasperian didn't have the ball, but it's picked out there by McIntyre. Kick goes round the boundary line. Payne leads in the race for the ball. Maybe could have been a free kick there, but it's going to be run over now, and another throw will take place in front of the club rooms here at East Geelong.
And I'll tell you another thing too. If you 2 blokes think that I'm going to bother giving votes here today, you've got rocks in your head, because I have got not one player to give a vote to at all.
So again, ruck contest. Gin may be over the top there. Ball comes down. Running onto it again is Marnie. Just needs to take it clean. Got the handball inside to Mac. Mac from the boundary line, round the body, back towards goal. Across the face through for a... goal.
What?
Went through for a goal.
Wow, the umpire ran a mile. I didn't realise.
Also, Mac from the boundary. He had me, Phil, because I thought it was definitely behind from where I sat. But it is a goal. Bannockburn now to 8 goals, 8. Leads East Geelong 5-5. 3 minutes gone, final quarter. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Geez, in the context of the game, that's a ripping goal. I tell you now, that is probably one of the very few contenders again for Connectel. That's right, Connectel. Goal of the day.
And you missed earlier, Grub. I think you might have been outside, but there was a flying mark from Henry Hawker as well.
I never saw
Big
it.
contested mark. It could be an opportunity for the Routleys mark of the day.
Must
So
have went to the toilet.
yeah, I reckon. So we are back in the middle now. Ball gets palm down. Handball over the top. Opportunity. Bannockburn are going to go forward again here.
This is
Through
danger,
Gin.
yeah.
Opportunity for Hawker. Oh, he missed the second opportunity. He's going to get a free kick for over the shoulder anyway. And he's going to go back and have an opportunity. How many does he kick, Smithy? 2
Yeah,
still?
he's got 2, 3. I don't know how you play this bloke because he's so tall and he jumps as well.
Well, I think,
You almost have to play him in front and hope he jumps over the top of you.
yeah, I thought Jacob Nolan did everything he possibly
That's
could.
what I'm saying.
You know, and he still gave the free kick away.
Yeah, defender's got no chance of that.
No.
Make it 5 goals. Leans back on it and misses again.
That's the other way to beat it.
2-4 now. So 5-5, 35 to 8-9, 57. We've gone 4 minutes since last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
That's the other way to beat it. Just let him mark it if he's going to keep kicking the ball. He's not going to kick you 5 goals if he's not going to kick straight.
So
Has to kick straight.
from full back now, Vicente goes down the line. Sparian try to jump over the top, steal, laid the Shepherd. Now Perkins sees the ball over the boundary line. So just a stoppage close enough to true centre wing in front of us in the broadcast position. The game has been played majority on the far side of the ground as well. All in now, Sparian down. McIntyre does go after it. Jervis wins the ball and then gives it to Phillips. Phillips just steadies and then kicks. Someone's going to have to fly here. Hawker couldn't quite that time. Also, there's from the boundary, centering kick. Oh, they've got numbers lining up here. Patella is going to run in and kick a goal. It's a beautiful centering kick by Mac. Vitali was all alone. They were lining up and he stretches that margin out again. 5-5, 35 to 9-9-63. We have gone 5 minutes in this last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
I don't know where they're going to get another 5 goals from because, gee, Bannockburn have just dominated the first couple of minutes. And even though they missed one, you don't miss them ones. Lachlan Vitali just rolled in and said, thank you very much.
Maybe Tristan this one.
Tristan's, how many's playing? I've only seen one of them.
Yeah, Lock played in the 2s.
Righto. Yeah, look, I don't know. I can't see East kicking the next 5.
So we're back in the middle of the ground. Ruckburn again, Kasparian, again, Gin maybe get the tap out, picked up out the outside there, got the handball outside. And again, runs in front of Mulville. He's tackled, ball comes back inside. They did that pretty nicely. And again, the ball goes forward through Hoff into the deep in their attacking zone. No clear pick up in their forward line, and the ball has to be, or will we run over the boundary line? We'll have a throw in which will take place. The sun's disappeared now, thank goodness, because of the shining on the cars before. It was hard to pick up some players down that far end from that contest. I'm not too sure the player from Bannockburn's in the contest, but he gets the handball outside. They win possession of it, goes back to Henderson, kicks around the boundary. Harding's up, didn't quite complete the mark. Mack gets through the contest now and kicks back into their half-forward line. Bailey Kelly leads in the race for the ball, goes back inside. Did nicely there. Handball comes out the back into the hands there of Simons. Kicks round the body, goes back towards centre wing. Mack goes back to the fly of the ball. Couldn't take the mark, went back and collected it. Ball comes out now, picked up by Monaghan. He's tackled. Ball comes out once again. Brunt's there. He needs to pick the ball up. He couldn't pick the ball up. Again, I don't think anyone's got a clean pick up at the moment. There, Marnie, he did it and got the ball going forward. And again, the mark this should be taken and will be taken in there by Purdy. So he transfers play. Little short kick was okay. Ollis has the ball. Got the handball back outside to Purdy, continued to run. Delivers the ball longer into their half-forward line. Going back, Bath should read it nicely and doesn't takes the mark. So Tommy Bath, half-back line for Bannockburn.
That sun going in, fair enough, but it gives you no more excuses, Smithy.
No, so he's been called to play on now by the umpire. Runs and kicks back towards centre wing. Ball spoiled just at the last minute by Harding. That was a good tackle and chase down. I'm not too sure who that was. Might have been Connor Jervis, possibly.
I think it was on McIntyre.
That was a very good,
beautiful
being
tackle.
able to hold him up nicely there. So they win possession again. Well, not win possession, but hold things up on centre wing. Ruck contest comes out to Mulville. This is Austin, goes back into their half forward line. Steele in front. Bath manoeuvred himself there, then took the mark. So Tommy Bath again, some good defensive work. Goes out the back to Gorman. Wants to get rid of it. Will need to shortly and does so with a long kick. Goes back towards centre wing in the gin direction. But again, standing the ground. I think that was Vincent and did that very, very nicely on a taller opponent. Goes back inside. Kick was tremendous. Finds his teammate there. Called the player now by the umpire. A long kick going into the forward line. Smith's there. Sellers there. Seller able to bring ball to ground. Perkins arrives to lend support. Goes back towards the boundary line. And they'll be happy enough to see it over, I would think. And that's what's going to happen. So we've gone 8 minutes in this final quarter. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard sees East Geelong at 5-5. Bannockburn 9-9.
They got to do something. Do something right now. Who's the bloke running the trainer?
Jack
I
Beardsville.
thought it was.
Yeah, he'd be handy out there right now.
Strapping on his calf.
Ball is back in now. Ezard got the ball down. So McIntyre's going to wheel back on his left foot. Opportunity for Smith, and he takes the mark. Used his body to perfection. Got rid of his opponent. And he's going to go back and kick his third goal. Is that right, Smithy?
That's correct.
So margin now 6-5, 41. 9-9-63. We've gone 9 minutes in this fourth quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
Seems like the only way they're going to kick goals, isn't it, boy? What do they these days call a chaos ball? Just kick it in and hope for the best and hope that your forward's in the right position, which in that case he was. But, you know, I'd like to see him kick a couple of quick ones and really make a game of this, but I'm not quite sure whether they can do that or not. They've got to get the ball out of the centre. They've had a lot, although both sides have had trouble getting it out of the centre, in tight and that. But now, when you're behind in the last quarter, it is a must to get it out of the centre and get into the forward line quickly.
I think both teams play up the corridor a lot as well. So, call up again now in the ruck Smallville for the time being. Now forward, an opportunity for Crombie. He's the one that East Geelong need to get going. Handball missed coming through now. Opportunity for Bannockburn to repel down the other way. Now it's a chaos ball going inside forward 50. Just Hawker did really well to get their hands out to Phillips. Phillips up and under kick. Bailey Kelly's going to come through. He couldn't quite get there now. Ball hits the deck. Now spins around. Handball to the pocket. It was a beautiful 1-2 on that occasion from Bowden. He couldn't get boot to ball. Now the pressure's gone right up in this game. Coming through, up to Mulville. Can he lay the tackle? He can. Quick enough for the hands. Bannockburn, they're going to go inside forward 50 again. Monahan and Bowden. It was a good one-on-one. McIntyre there, as he always is. Now wrapped up, and the tackle was Brunt. Umpire says no prior opportunity. Give it to me.
So you got two options now, Bannockburn. Obviously, kick a goal is one of them. But if you can't, just hold it in here for 5 minutes. Just keep it in and keep it in.
Make it contest.
And make it even harder for East Geelong to kick the goals they need.
Ball up again now, coming through as Crombie. Was that holding the ball? It is. They got to watch this. I make sure the advantage isn't paid if Mark was taking the
he didn't even look the umpire. He put his hand up and said, "You're taking it. No advantage."
Player looks like Henderson.
Bailey Kelly.
That's Bailey Kelly. Yep. So
well, I'm glad of that for Bannockburn's sake, because I think Bailey might be a touch better kick for goal than Endo.
50 metres out. Take his best kick from here. Homes up against the boundary. It's currently a 22-point margin to make it a 28-point margin from 50. Gives it everything he's got right, and it takes the goal line. Stays in, though. Opportunity. Bowden's there, and also for East Geelong. Zimmer, but the ball beats all of them. So we'll have another ball in. 25 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. 11 minutes, nearly 12 minutes gone. They're going to get cracking here. East Geelong ball hits the deck now. Coming through. Wilson Mark hits the post. He did that beautifully, the way he roped it to himself.
He's an enigma, this kid. He uses class, but he just doesn't get enough of the footy.
Yep, just needs that little finish, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Ball comes in now and it's picked up there by Marnie. Ben goes long outside 50, going back Perkins. Leads in the race for the ball, needs to trap the ball, does so now, got away from his opponent there, spins back inside, got the 1-2 back from Beardsall, little chip up over the top, kick wasn't great there, goes back out towards centre wing, strong tackle laid, held up, umpire will have a ball up right in front of the East Geelong coaching box.
That's a beautiful bit of football. He's a much better player than Gripper ever was, I reckon. Sorry, Grip.
And ruck contest out there on the far side. Gin tries to keep the ball alive, goes back towards the boundary. Henderson, I think it was, that led the ball over the boundary line. Couldn't keep it inside, so another throw in this time will take place.
It is great to see blokes like Henderson and young Perkins and Colliger and all these blokes.
Hardings.
Yeah, all playing with where their dads used to play, except for nappies, of course.
Yep. So the game, ruck contest, ball goes back towards the half-forward line. Bannockburn we're talking, but McIntyre sits over the top of the ball, needs support. Has got it now. He's going to try to whip the ball out the back. Ends up in the hands there of Mac. Goes inside. Went looking for Harding, but it missed the target. So now they run from defence, and that's Minari, I think it is.
Nice.
Kicked into their half-forward line. Good kick. Mark was taken out there. Ollis. So he's up and going. Kicks long into their forward line. Smith out in the lead. Didn't take the mark, but has still got possession of the ball. Tried to break the tackle. Got through one. Got the handle away. Went straight up in the air. Got the ball. Went back. And Bromby from outside 50 goes back towards goal. Offline. Well offline and out of bounds on the full by the looks of things. Oh no, one behind.
They need to have to. I know it's not an easy one on a run, but they have to kick them to get themselves back in the game.
A lot of players have had their chances like that too, haven't they,
Well,
today?
Very, very shortly, we're going to be sitting here saying time's run out for them. So they've got to do it now. That had to be a goal.
So we've gone almost 15 minutes in the last quarter, and Bannockburn will be doing the kicking in from full back, and it's Gorman.
Well, we're always saying it now, aren't we?
Goes long. The
Punch!
Sparian. Yes, takes the mark.
You gotta-
Perkins couldn't quite.
You got to punch that.
So Sparian is going to go inside the 450, looking for Zach Smith. Couldn't quite. Hits the deck. Left foot snap. He couldn't from there. Could he? No. Just a minus score. That would have been something special to ignite them. 6-7-43 now to 9-10-64. We've got 14 and a half minutes. Brought to you by Morris Finance. I'm going to go quickly this time, Gorman.
Be back in a minute, Smithy. I'm going out to vomit.
This side of the ground. The
Sure.
broadcast side of the ground. They haven't used the football this side too often. So Monaghan might fly now. So 1-on-1, no one there as well. Ball close to the boundary line. It's going to run over.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, I thought it was live. Sorry, mate.
So ball back in now. Sparing gets front spot over the top. Couldn't gather the ball on that occasion. Was McComb, and then wrapped up in a tackle. So we'll have a stoppage. Sorry. Go again. Kasparian gets the ball down. Mayborn there for Bannockburn. Gets the ball out. Push off the ball with Bailey Kelly as he kicks it. Jerby's in and under as he always is. Driving his head into his opponent's knees. It's going to be a stoppage. So, game right in the balance here. Halfway through this last quarter. 15 minutes gone now. Comes out. Quick kick. Opportunity for East Geelong. They're now inside forward 50. Ollis comes up at the ball. Zach Smith out the back 1-on-1. They're going to handball over the top. Here's Steele. Can he kick the goal? He's missed. Andrew Steele had a great opportunity. Went the snap. Brought it back too much. It's a minor score. 6-8-44 now to 9-10-64. It's a 20-point margin. 16 minutes gone in this last quarter. Brought to you by Morris Finance.
Just waiting for the ball to come back from over the fence, I think. Too sure where it's gone, actually. Oh, yep, we got it now. Young fella just coming back across the road there. So we'll go back to Gorman at the fullback position. So he's, again, having the responsibility of kicking in from that fullback. Player up the ground, Bowden is in space by himself. He has going to go a little bit longer this time, and he goes out towards the clubroom side of the ground. Perkins up in front, doesn't take the mark. Ball comes down to the front of the contest. Kick across the ground, had to be good. Was okay because it turned his teammate there in Zimmer. I think he was going to go the wrong way there for a little bit, the East Geelong player, but now he goes out wide, goes looking for Steele. He takes a mark outside 50, can run and carry now. runs to where he's inside 50, loads up, goes long towards goal. Oh, he's a long way off target this time, out of bounds on the full this time. Can't buy anything at this particular stage of the game. So it's going to be again Bannockburn from the back pocket. Bring the ball back into play. Please come down this side of the ground. That's what they're going to do. So Jervis now comes long, goes outside. Hawker in front. Ball gets through the contest. Jen got there and got the ball nicely. Goes towards Battaglia. And it's going to be a little bit wide, that kick, so it will turn over. Free kick will go to East Geelong. So East Geelong through Brunt, go back into the middle of the ground. Monahan with the ball. Across the ground if they want to go that way. He does now. Chips the ball across. Gee, it wasn't a great kick. Put a bit of team hard on there. And Beardsall comes in, interception, runs back towards the goal square. Monahan now with some work to do. Needs to clear the ball. Looks up, has a player in space, but again, the kick not good. Bowden comes in and takes the mark. So mistakes are being made now. Bowden goes short into the forward line. Harding up at the ball, and he has taken the mark. And he can go back and look at his third today, Brody Harding.
I'll tell you what it does, Smithy. This new rule with this, whatever you call it, last touch, normally that player would have went for the boundary. But no one to be a free kick. He came in board and stuck it down the throat of an opposition player, gave him every chance.
Yes, kicking back to where it's dangerous, Grub. That down the boundary line, there's something for it, isn't it?
Yeah, get rid of the rule at our level. I don't care what you say.
So Brody Harding, as I said, has 2 for the afternoon. Kicks at his third. Wasn't great off the boot and has wobbled a bit and through for a minor score. So 2 goals, 1 to that player. 9-11 now to Bannockburn. 6-8 East Geelong. And we have gone almost 20 minutes in the final quarter.
Back in now quickly, nearly run down was Donovan Crombie. It was now.
Oh, I still think no prior.
I didn't think Crombie gave the responsibility off. There was another tackle laid.
Oh, he might have been lucky.
Might have been a little bit unlucky. The player in question that got tackled was Sam Purdy. And now it's going to be an opportunity for Bannockburn to go back and extend this lead. Probably put the game to bed. Grub, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. If it's nearly out to a, what's that now? It'd be nearly a 30-point margin. He kicks this. Henry Hawker. What's he kicked today, Smithy?
2 goals, 4.
2-4. It's the one criticism of his game is his goal kicking. Put a nail in the coffin, I'll call it now. Oh, he kicks into the man of the mark. So Purdy did well there. He's going to go with the ball again. He's not going to get pinned again here, is he? No, Purdy. Oh, maybe he is. He is pinned again. Purdy will be thinking he's the most unlucky footballer going around at the moment. He's been pinned twice. Oh, and it might be 50 metres. It is. To make a certainty of it. I bet it's sent towards the umpire.
And a certainty of the game.
And that is your game right there. The player is going to kick the goal. It looks like Brody Harding might claim this and kick his third. So he's smart to use all 30 seconds, go through his routine.
I don't think it's going to matter, Arch.
Goes through and kicks the goal. 6-8, 44 to 10, 11, 71. We have gone just on 21 minutes in this last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
Well, to me, this is an upset. A huge upset. Like, you get a game between 2 good sides like this and Bannockburn happen to win by a goal or something, that's not really an upset. But to get away from Eastern, get this far in front, it's a huge upset because I just don't... Look, the thing in East's favour, and I know it doesn't sound like it's in East's favour, but they're good players who we know can play well, haven't played well today.
Yep.
Like Benny Crombie hasn't played as well as he normally will, and he will again in time. And there's a few of his mates today too that haven't quite played their best footy. So, if your side plays their best footy and you lose, you think, where are we going next? But at least they can come back next week and say, right, we're put in a shocker. Let's redeem ourselves.
Back in the middle we go once again this time. Ruck contest. Ball up in the air by the umpire. Gin over the top again. Wins possession of it. Comes down. And kicked off the ground there by Mayburn. Back into their half-forward line. Werribee up by 80 points over there, Grub. They're going on 80 points. Harding from the half-forward line. Kicks ball back into their forward line. Hawker comes up at it. Ball comes out the front. Picked up. Marnie got the handball inside. Again, Hawker had it. Gave it away. Again, now with a number of players around, umpire will come in, and I did think I saw that Inverleigh were back in front of Winchelsea 95 to 86. And I think Anakie were up by about 30 points over Corio.
Right.
East Belmont, Belpost
Thompson
still,
beat West.
and Belpost still leading by about 30 points. So some upsets there. Ball back in the middle of the ground. Perkins through the middle of the ground, picks the ball up, loads up, goes quickly back into their half forward line. Wasn't a great kick, but it might work out for him. Marnie picks the ball up, got the tackle away. Oh, that was high. Yeah, I thought it was too. Johnny McIntyre hasn't had the best of days either.
Look, he started off well. Yep. He started off well, but yeah, he's been down a little bit too. And I'll tell you what, you won't ever see a player like him play 2 baddies in a row. I can promise you that.
So it is Marnie now, the recipient of that free kick, and he's just on the forward 50 arc, or just outside, I should say, about 10 out from there. So he'll load up. Hawker would definitely have to be the target here. He goes in long. Oh, Harding at the back nearly read that nicely, but it went through for a minor score. And that will see Bannockburn now to 10-12. They lead East Geelong on 6-8. And we've gone almost 25 minutes in this final quarter. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Straight down the guts, or close enough, looking for Kasparian. He couldn't quite. He flew, though. The ball ends up over the back. Everything's going to go perfectly from here on out. Opportunity straight through the middle now. It's a genuine, it's a 2-on-1 maybe. Zach Smith tried to work his opponent underneath the ball. The ball spills out to Jude Payne. He's going to turn his man inside out and go long to the tip of the goal square. But waiting back is Perkins, who's played a pretty good game, by the way. Perkins is going to go short to the pocket. Find Beardsall. Beardsall. Thanks, Wilson Mack. Using this side of the ground, which neither team has too often today. Is Henry Hawker. Takes the mark just in front of us in the broadcast position.
Have a shot, Henry!
Hawker's going to take his time and go down the line, looking for Kelly if he can jump. And coming from the side is Reece Ginn. Ginn has Mayborn on. They're going to go to him in the pocket eventually. Mayborn's going to go back and take the mark. No, he spilled it. Still there's an opportunity from the pocket. Back to Mayborn. Kick the goal, son. He doesn't. And now the ball is carried over the boundary line. So we'll have a ball in 25 minutes out from the Bannockburn. Bannockburn goals. We have gone 25 minutes in this last quarter. Brought to you by Morris Finance. As the boundary umpire has ball in hand now. Go back in. Watch out for Harding. He's been dangerous inside forward 15 as a free kick. Which way is it going to go? It's going to go the way of East Geelong. So Sparian wins the free kick. He's got numbers in the middle of the ground. He's not going to go that direction. He's going to chip back. Now they're going to use the outer sides. Mobile and then Crombie. So Crombie lowers his eyes. And
Benny.
Fine Fletcher Wilson. Now Wilson Mack has the ball in the middle of the ground. They're aggressive with their ball movement here. Bannockburn. There's Mayborn. He's going to go out wider to Gorman. Gorman, it's really stretching East Geelong here with their ball movement. Beardsall happy to chip the ball around. Back to Gorman. About 65 metres out from goal now. He's got Battaglia in short if he wants him. He's going to go towards Henry Hawker. Here goes the Hawk. It's over the back, though. Still there is Rory Harding. He might have a little dribbler from the boundary line.
Yes.
Does and kicks the goal. And I tell you what, that's probably the Connectel. Yes, the Connectel goal of the day. 6:8:44 to 11:12:78. We have gone 26 minutes this last quarter. Brought to you by Simon.
Keep going. You want to do me job? Keep going. Go on.
Opportunist there, wasn't it, Grub?
Keep going. You want to do me job, Archie? Keep going.
Sorry, I got to be excited there, Grub.
Well, the game was probably done and dusted at that stage, but that's definitely put the nail.
It's good to have.
Not only does he
sealed it,
he copies me as well. Flattery's the best form of whatever it is.
Ball from that ruck contest, Mayborn picked the ball up, or might have been over the top of the head then when he tackled him, but umpire said, let's put it to air again, and we'll have another ball up in the middle of the ground. Again, ball up in the air. This time, Kasparian gets the ball down. McIntyre shrugs a tackle, kicks the ball forward, goes towards their half-forward line, picked up Gorman. Free kick's been given. It goes back to Wallace. So Wallace now got the handball back outside, goes back to McIntyre, steps around one, looks up. Smith will obviously be the target, goes longer. Bath going back. Smith over the top, couldn't take the ball. Picked up by Steele, kicks back towards goal, and he misses for the third time in the last quarter.
All I can say is I'm glad you were commentating that passage of plays.
6-9 now to the home side and 11-12 to Bannockburn. And we're ticking towards that 30-minute mark of that final quarter. The ball now kicked in long, goes out wide. Perkins up in front, doesn't take the mark. Ball at the back, picked up by Mayborn once again. Kicks the ball back towards Hawker. Nolan did nicely, got in front, picked the ball up, ran through the contest with a strength. Just needs support now. He's going to put himself under pressure. Got the handball away just in the nick of time to Mulville. Goes back towards centre half forward. Players, Bannockburn with numbers at the contest. Picked up Gorman. Free kick is going to be given to Bath this time in front of the marking contest. Goes back out to Gorman once again. Across the ground he goes. Nice kick. Finds Clifton out there by himself in some space. Goes along the boundary line. Short kick. Oh,
Really got in each other's way.
Beansell got the road. He was looking at the ball then, but Ryan Bowden was able to go past him and take the mark. So they can afford to play a little possession football now. That's not going to be great, and it's gone out of bounds. Oh, gee, I thought they'd come in here
I'll
then.
tell you what, I nearly hooked him on a handball and straight to the toe.
So Brunt goes back inside. His kick again didn't hit the target. Henderson taps the ball over the top towards Gin. He's tackled, and he was brought down. Umpires said no prior opportunity. Thought he might have had one when he tried to step around, but
Whoa! Hit the umpire right in the left
it's
ear.
gone.
Maybe make that in the right ear.
So the ball now back in the air. Gin up over the top, goes to Jervis, puts boot the ball, goes back to the centre half forward position. Nolan did some good body work, didn't complete the mark. He's got some support there. Picked up by Harding once again, goes quickly into the forward line. Got through to Kelly. Wants to go around the body. Will so. Can't bring it back far enough, has he? Oh, at the post and bounces through for a minor score. Bailey Kelly 3-2 for the afternoon. 11-13 now, Bannockburn. 6-9 to the home side East Geelong. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
I did hit the post, didn't I?
Pretty close, I reckon. Bench
I
right.
saw it.
Umpire said
Yeah,
it didn't. but I thought it
that's
did.
what I thought. I was looking for the umpire's call.
Yeah, he didn't call it, but it looked like it did.
So as the siren goes, it's an upset here at Richmond Crescent. 6-9-45 East Geelong to 11-12-78 Bannockburn coming out victors. That last quarter was brought to you by Morris Finance.
Goal kickers for the day. Zach Smith for the home side had 3. Ezard with 2. Hoff with 1. And for Bannockburn, 3 each to Brody Harding, Bailey Kelly. 2 to Henry Hawker. 1 each to Tristan Battaglia and Wilson Mack. And, Rory Harding as well.
Well, I think the upset is the margin. I said it could have gone either way, but to win by that much is a bit of an upset. I didn't think that would happen.
So we're going to take a short break and come back. We'll get final scores from around the grounds and give our 3, 2 and 1, which Grubby said he's not going to participate in, but you're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Final score here this afternoon. We'll see Bannockburn run out winners 11-13. They will beat East Geelong 6-9. And I can tell you just some scores from around the ground at the present time. The last time I looked, Winchelsea 8 points up on Inverleigh. I'm not too sure how much time there is to go in that game, and I've just pushed the wrong button now. I've got to get back in. It will take me some time to do so. Wouldn't that annoy the living daylights out here?
What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm just trying to get final scores, mate. I just lost them. It's now 11 points out at Inverleigh. Werribee 147, Belmont 58.
And Connor Lindenham Cunningham in a sling with a shoulder injury.
Okay, Wellpost Hill still about 30 points up. It's 92-65 out there against North Geelong. Anakie 105, lead Corio 81. And the final score, Thompson 81, have defeated Geelong West 44. So some games we thought that might have been marginally closer have drifted out. Probably the only game that's probably still close at this stage, and I'm not too sure what time they've got, although the final has just come up on the Inverleigh game, and that means Winchelsea runs out winners there 105-96. So that was probably a game I didn't think would go that way. So interesting there. This afternoon, as we said, Bannockburn probably again. You now look at the scoreboard, there's 15 scoring shots to 24. So each week they have more scoring shots on their opposition side, but unfortunately can't kick straight. So that's something of their game. If they can improve, Rob, I think you mentioned that before the day started. If they can start to straighten themselves up in front of goal, then they could win some games by some margins if they're good enough.
Yeah, no doubt.
Grub, your thoughts on the game before I give our 3-2-1?
Not a great game of footy to watch, I must admit. It opened up all right, but it just both sides were put on so much pressure in the tackling that they just, I don't know, they just couldn't kick the ball properly. They kicked down opposition's throats. The shots for goal were poor, but the contest was good for most of the game until Bannockburn sort of broke away. And look, I don't know. It's very, very hard. My take on the rest of the year from this game. I think it's all good from Bannockburn because they ran out, winning by a fair margin. But as I said during the call, I think East had too many players today that didn't play their best footy, and that won't happen too often. So you don't write them off. What do you call it? One swallow doesn't make a summer. And I think there's a lot to have a look at West's good players and say they will play better, and they have to. I think they need more out of the big fella. Look, we got a lot out of Ezard early, but we didn't in the second half much.
No.
And the other big fella down there, Steele, we just need a bit more out of him. Smith did his job, should have probably kicked straighter, and he has 4 or 5. So you can't knock what he did today. Through the middle, Johnny McIntyre's heading for a Whitley medal until today and put in a game that wasn't up to his standard. That won't happen too often. So I don't think you can say, look at East and say, oh, gee, they're going to struggle. They'll be back better than ever. But Bannockburn, after a shaky 0-2 start, as I said earlier, we're all thinking, hey, this could be 0-5. Could be one of the better sides. They put in a performance, and say, not great football, but they did what they had to do and win the game.
Yeah, I just said, I reckon you're right, Grub. They've had 5 games now against quality, and I think North Geelong, follow them in their draw. So they probably had the 2 hardest draws so far. Other sides have been able to get one of the lower brigade at some stage. But as I said, you can only go out and win games against your football. And as I said, they come up short a couple of times, Bannockburn. But today, even at 3/4 time, the game was still in the balance. But in the last quarter, they kicked 4 goals, 5. And East Geelong 1 goal 4. And a lot of those shots, some of those shots from both sides were something that you would think that they would kick most days. Like Steele had 3 snapshots and never really got close. Smith early on ran into an open goal, hit the post. Mack ran into an open goal nearly and hit the post. So, there's a fair bit of improvement, I reckon, as you said, Grub, through both of these sides going forward. So I reckon, as I said, they'll be in the top 5, but where they'll actually finish, I'm not too sure.
Well, you talk about, we said it a few times, going to Zach Smith when you probably didn't need to go. If I'm coaching East Geelong, I've got to try and find a way. Right, you see a big fella like Steele, right? So, right, I kick it up. He's a good mark, right? And he is a pretty good mark. I think you've got to find a way to exploit the big bloke that you have to put on him by having a system, having a game plan, which uses Steele's pace. You saw him run down here. We've seen it before. For a big bloke, he's the quickest in the comp by a mile. So I think let Zach Smith lead out somewhere. Let Izzard go with him and try and kick it to space to use the pace because the bloke on him, he's going to be a ton quicker than him every single time. Use his pace.
All right, so the question is now, I'll ask you, Grub, are they playing him too far up the ground, allowing Smith to be one out in the goal square?
Yes.
Or do they need to work together in the goal square?
Alternate.
Yep.
For a while, do it, and then put Izzard close to goal, and then Steele close to goal,
Yep.
and rotate it around so the defence will look around and say, what are we going to do next? How's the ball coming in?
Steele's your more conventional build for your full forward, isn't he? I mean, he's a bit taller, he's a bit more broad than Zach Smith is.
Yep.
So I think that you have, as you said, you have both of them there. But even if they, get Zach Smith up, if he's having a game where the ball's not coming down as much, getting up the ground, and get his hands on the football a bit more instead of just sitting back at the goal square is going to help his game as well.
Well, you can put Zach Smith further out because he can turn his player around and use his pace to run in.
Yeah, that's why I reckon him up in the half-forward flank for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Just for a little while.
That rotation between the three of them, they could rotate through that centre
Whole
half
arc.
forward.
And all of a sudden the defence, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that will work. And I think you'll see that it will work during the year.
So interesting, gentlemen. As I said, probably the hardest thing to do now is to sit back and give votes.
I'm going to have a crack too.
There's some players that I would have had in at halftime probably didn't get a touch after halftime, but I'd imagine that we're probably going to vary a little bit during this. But you going to start, Rob?
Well, I'll start, but I'll tell you what, I will promise you.
Yep.
I will not laugh at your votes today. I might laugh at my own.
One vote?
I forget. I had it too. It was going to be a toss-up between young Perkins and Will Mack. And I just think Will Mack did some lovely things, probably in and out. I'm going to go Perkins 1 vote. I'm going to go Bailey Kelly 2 votes because he's the forward that kicked straight beautifully and won the game from. And there was one clear winner on the ground that beat his opponent, and that was the boy in the ruck. He's got my 3 again. I thought he was found. Hardly missed a tap out, and his tap outs went to his players, and that's all you can ask for.
All right, next.
I'll just let you know that I haven't got any of those 3 in mind. So I'm not going to laugh at yours because I'm generally a rap for today, and I thought he did nothing wrong today. But yeah, go on. We'll just have a look at my votes.
I'm going to go 1 Perkins.
That might win it.
2 to Henry Hawker, and 3 to Reece Ginn.
Well, it's all over.
It is because
It's all over.
I've given 1 vote to Jeremy Ollis. I thought his first half and halfway through the third quarter, he was clearly one of the better players on the ground.
That's when he come on the ground, wasn't it?
Yep. I've given Hawker 2 votes. If he had kicked 4 goals too, he would have got my 3.
Same here.
Yeah, and I thought Kelly, but I'm actually going back to Gorman again on the half back line, and he's working he does, and I just think he's using the ball well coming out of defence. So there you have it.
I was trying to sneak him in for 1.
Yep.
I really was. And watch the video tomorrow because, Archie, you called him Gilman. And I'm thinking, who the hell's Gilman? That's why I couldn't find a Gilman. Well, before you blokes go, before I go,
we better thank.
We have to thank a few people like Buckley's, Elders, P&R Foods, and Morris Finance. For the Routleys, the big men fly for the Routleys pay. We didn't see too many today. For the mark of the day, Kempy Engineering read the play of the day. In a game like that, we didn't see too many of them either. For the Hotham Hotel, the goal of the day, Connectel. Yeah, that's right, Connectel. The Beersdorf tapes and bandages for Red Onion. Thank you very much. Promoted trophies, Frameline Printing and Framing. Raiders Bingo, you'll always win a quid there. Auswide Plumbing and Civil for the league and at this beautiful ground as well. Athlete's Foot, the mighty Comna Fiend, Sirocco Travel and Cruise. Let's go to Bali. The Pulse 94.7, Yards Hotel for as good a food as you'll ever see. And, of course, Club Warehouse. Thank you very, very much, all is.
So just going through winners this afternoon. It's East Geelong. We've been defeated by Bannockburn. Winchelsea defeated Inverleigh. I've done that one. Werribee Central's easy winners over Belmont Lions. A surprise. Belpost Hill will beat North Geelong side. Anakie will be reigning over the Corio, and the Thompson Tigers have put themselves on the board with a win over Geelong West. So next week we are going to Belpost Hill, and they take on. Who do they take on? Grub, you know? Winchelsea, that's correct. So that's the game, the match of the day at Belpost Hill. 100 years, is that correct? 50. Oh, gee, that was me. That's all right. So 50-year celebration. Yeah, no, it's getting older. Grub, we always make mistakes. To everybody here this afternoon, to Grub, to Arch, and to Tyler for his work in the box, we'd like to thank all of those people. And until next week, we hope you can join us again. You've been listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.